Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, The Roads Must Roll, by Robert Heinlein.
Hear them hum, watch them run. Oh, our job is never done, for our roadways go rolling along. While you ride, while you glide, we are watching down in sight, so your roadways keep rolling along. Oh, it's hi, hi, he, the roader men are we. Check off the sectors loud and strong. 1, 2, anywhere you go. You are bound to know that your roadways keep rolling along. Keep it rolling! That your roadways keep rolling along.
It was in the middle 1950s that the automotive age began to die. The traffic engineers had long expected it. For years, they had watched our vast cities sprawl and spread out, spill over into the countryside, become more and more dependent on motor transportation. And then, finally, the inevitable breaking point was reached. The growing flood of cars and buses and trucks began to swamp the streets and arterial highways. The building of roads could no longer keep pace. The superhighways, clogged, congested, became packed with cars stalled bumper to bumper. And the cities began to die of slow strangulation, for the traffic could no longer roll. And then the engineers took over. They banned the automobiles, tore up the superhighways, and in their place they built the rolling roads, mechanized roads that moved like huge conveyor belts, whirling along on their giant rotors at speeds ranging from 5 to 100 miles an hour, carrying the freight, the food, and the people from city to city and coast to coast. And no one worried over the fact that if the road should ever stop, our whole economic life would stop. For the machinery had never failed yet. But people forgot that machinery depends on men, the men who run it.
Who makes the roads roll?
We do!
That's right, the engineers. We're the brains of the road. And where would the public be if we didn't keep the roads rolling? Right behind the 8 ball, and everybody knows it. All right, then. We're the men who hold the power, and it's time we started using it. We've called this meeting of the Engineers Control Committee because that's what we want to do. Control. Because I'm tired of taking orders from the Transport Commission, from slick desk jockeys like Jim Gaines, who don't even know a rotor bearing from a field corn. Now let Gaines yammer about our duty to the public. That's a lot of eyewash. We've got the power, and we're the men that count. Now it's time we quit fiddling around and use a little direct action to get what we want.
Mr. Chairman! Mr. Chairman!
The chair recognizes Brother Harvey of the Transport Mechanics Union.
Thanks. Now, I don't rightly belong here since I'm no engineer. I'm just here to represent the workers' union. But I want to know what's all the shouting for. You engineers have got better working conditions than we have, and we ain't kicking. You say the engineers are powerful. You say you can tie up the roads. Well, so can any screwball with a jar of nitroglycerin. And he wouldn't need no engineer's degree to do it, neither.
Harvey, are you speaking for your union now, or are you here as a stooge for the Transport Commission?
Listen, Van Cleek, I helped fund my union. I led the strike in 75 for decent working conditions. Where were you engineers then? With the Finks!
Brother Harvey! Brother Harvey, remember, you're only a guest at this meeting. Go on, Van.
Now, listen, man. I'm one of the old engineers on the roads. You all are, worked up the hard way. We didn't go to the fancy technical institutes like those young punk cadet engineers the commission is training to take over our jobs unless we do something to stop them. Jim Gaines hasn't been able to fill us full of the old school spirit and that baloney about how the roads must roll. So, all right, then. Why don't we get smart for a change? What would happen if the roads stopped rolling? Maybe the country would begin to realize that they can't do without us. Maybe we'd begin to get the things we want. Who says the roads must roll?
Yes?
Your wife is calling, Mr. Gaines.
Put her on.
Jim, I want you to stop off on your way home.
I'm sorry, darling, I can't make it.
But you promised.
I know, but Washington called in. They're sending Evans, the Australian Minister of Transport, through my sector today. I've got to show him through personally.
Can't somebody else?
I'm chief supervisor. Wouldn't be courteous.
Courtesy begins at home. I've planned this dinner for weeks.
Honey, the roads must roll.
Oh, if you quote that nauseating slogan at me again, I'll divorce you.
I can't help it, darling. I'll meet you at Stockton at 9 and we'll take in a show. Kiss Alan goodnight for me.
Well, all right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mr. Evans is here.
Show him in. Well, good evening, Mr. Evans. I'm Gaines, chief engineer.
How do you do, Mr. Gaines? They told me at the embassy you'd be the man to see. I want to know how the roads work.
I think we can handle that.
Well, I'm not a technical man, Mr. Gaines. My field is sociology. So, suppose you tell me about the roads as if I were entirely ignorant.
Fine. It's nearly at dinner time. Suppose we run up to Stockton sector for dinner. It'll take us about an hour on the roads, and you can see them working.
Excellent.
If you'll excuse me a minute.
Certainly.
Hi, Chief. What can I do for you?
Dave, you're on evening watch, eh?
Uh-huh.
Where's Van Cleek?
Going to some meeting.
I'm going up to Stockton for dinner. Anything to report?
No, sir. The roads are rolling.
Okay. Keep them rolling. All right, Mr. Evans, let's go. This is the low-speed strip. Ever ridden a conveyor before?
No.
It's quite simple. Remember to face the motion of the strip as you get on. There. We'll go right across. Each adjoining strip is a few miles an hour faster than the one next to it. Freight is carried on the 50-mile strip, most passenger traffic on the express strip. All right, now watch your step. Here we are, the maximum speed.
100 miles an hour. It doesn't seem possible.
This trip makes the round trip San Diego to Reno in 12 hours. Ready to eat?
Is this the restaurant?
Jake's Steakhouse. Fastest meal on the road.
Is it really a proper restaurant?
One of the best. Shall we go in?
Hello, Mr. Gaines. We don't see you much out on the road.
Busy in the office, Jake.
Two? Right this way. What'll it be?
You order.
Well, how about a steak? 2 inches thick from a steer that died happy.
Fine. Plug me in the phone, will you?
There's one right next to you. Flank 2, rare.
You'll excuse me, Mr. Evans?
Certainly.
Davidson on watch.
This is the chief. I'm at Jake's Steakhouse. You can reach me at 10L66.
10L66, right.
Yeah. Now they can get hold of me in an emergency.
Oh? What kind of emergency could there be?
2, principally. Power failure on the roaders would bring the road to a standstill. That happened during rush hour. We'd have to evacuate millions of people from the road.
As many as that?
Easily. There are 12 million people dependent on this section of road. Gaines here.
Hello, Chief Davidson. Just got the hourly reports in. Diego Circle, Bakerfield Sector, Stockton Sector, and Reno Circle all rolling.
Oh, you didn't have to bother me with the hourlies, Dave.
There's a supplementary from Sacramento.
Proceed.
Cadet Engineer Gunther, while on watch, was found playing cards with C.J. Ross, technician on duty.
Any damage?
One rotor running hot, but still synchronized. It was jacked down and replaced.
All right, have the paymaster give Ross his time and turn him over to civil authorities. Place Cadet Gunther under arrest and bring him to Rotown Central.
Yes, sir.
All right. Keep him rolling. I was saying there were 2 possibilities of danger. Can you visualize what would happen if the strip under us would break?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. You don't realize you're traveling at 100 miles an hour.
Well, it can't. Not now. The strip has a safety factor of over 12 to 1. It'd take a blowout of several miles of rotors and a failure of circuit breakers before the strip could part. But it happened once in the early days on the Philadelphia-Jersey City road. The strip wasn't much more than a conveyor belt. It buckled for miles, crushing passengers against the roof. Forward section in front of the brake spilled them down under into the rotors and rollers.
Oh. Was it very bad?
Over 3,000 people were killed in that break. But the roads had to go on. The entire economic system hangs on the roads. If they stopped now, the country would starve.
Well, isn't it possible that you've become too dependent on these roads? I mean, if your whole economy is geared to the function of one type of machinery...
The roads are foolproof now. The machinery is interlocked with an enormous safety factor.
Yes, but in the long run, machinery depends on men. What if you had a strike?
We had one back in 75. Well, there's not much danger of that anymore.
No? Well, why not?
Every cadet that goes to work on the roads today is a graduate of the United States Transport Academy. They're all picked men, screened for emotional stability, and trained to give us the same kind of loyalty that Annapolis and West Point develop in their men.
I see. Are you a graduate, Mr. Gaines?
No, I'm too old for that. The academy wasn't set up till after the strike in 75. But it won't be long now, maybe 5 or 10 years, before the oldest engineer on the roads is a man who's been through the academy. Gaines here.
Davidson, there's another trouble report from Sacramento sector.
Again? What is it this time?
What is it? What happened?
Emergency stop. Hello. Hello, Davidson. Phones are out. Come on. Jake!
What is it? What's the matter with the roads?
Have everybody stay in the restaurant.
What's that?
Probably somebody stepped onto the next strip. Got cut to ribbons. There'll be plenty of casualties. Jake, where's your getaway hat?
In the pantry.
Look here, aren't we going to help those people?
I've got the whole road to think of. Don't bother me. Give me a hand, Jake. The hatch is stuck. If you're coming with me, Mr. Evans, you've got to move fast. I haven't got any time to waste.
Where are we now?
Freeway on top of the inner road ceiling. That's the outer shell over us.
Are we going outside?
No, there'll be an access down manhole over here. They're spaced every 100 feet. There, by the green light. Now, this will get us down on the northbound road. Careful, it's dark. Now stand away from the door, Evans.
Yes. But this road is still rolling.
It was only the 100-mile strip that stopped. There's what I want, a phone booth. Look out, excuse me. Look out.
Hey,
out.
Hey, I'm talking to my wife. What's the idea
Don't
of
argue.
busting in here?
Out.
Yeah, but
Emergency priority, division office.
Davidson.
Gaines here, report.
Chief, where have you been? I've been calling you.
Never mind that, report.
709, consolidated tension. Report strip 20, Sacramento sector, past emergency level. Interlocks acted and cut the strip out. Cause of failure unknown. Direct communication cut to Sacramento Control Office. Evacuation of strip 20 commenced. No casualties.
There are casualties. I saw them. Put police and hospital routine A into operation. Get me Van Cleek. I want him to take over for me till I report in.
We can't reach him, Chief. Shall I cut out the rest of the road?
No. Keep those other strips rolling or we'll have a traffic jam the devil himself couldn't untangle. There are 5 million passengers on the road now. Notify the governor that I have assumed emergency authority. Arm all cadets available and await orders.
Shall I recall technicians off
No.
watch?
This isn't an engineering failure. That whole sector went out simultaneously. Somebody cut those rotors by hand. I want all available senior class cadets to report to Stockton Subsector, Office 10, with pistols and tear gas.
Yes, sir. The governor wants to talk to you. He called in.
Refer him to someone else. I'm busy. I'll get back to you. I'm going down under. Evans! Evans!
I can't hear you. The noise.
Put on this helmet.
What?
Helmet! Helmet!
Oh, yes.
You can't hear without an anti-noise filter. Come on.
What are we looking for?
A recon car. There should be one here.
Are those the rotors?
Now, the big ones are rotors. They drive the road. The little ones are rollers. They give continuous support. There's a watch gang now, jacking down a rotor.
Can they hear us?
No, the noise filter works on a 4-foot radius. I'll flash him. Now, he sees the light.
Cadet Wilson reporting, sir.
I want your recon car. Emergency.
Yes, sir. Right over here, sir.
Come on, Evans.
Yes.
Now, get in.
But it's so small.
You'll fit all right. You can take off your noise filter now. Hang on, she accelerates like a rocket.
Ooh, my stomach.
relay station.
This is Gaines. Get me Davidson, senior watch officer.
Mr. Gaines, the mayor wants to talk to you.
I haven't got time. Get me Davidson. And leave this circuit hooked into Davidson's board until I tell you to cut it.
Yes, sir. Here is the senior watch officer.
Davidson.
Gaines calling. Have you found out yet what's stopping the roads?
No, sir. It's still a mystery to me.
All right. I'm on my way in a recon car. Hold everything till I get there.
Cadet Edmonds reporting, sir. 3 platoons of cadet engineers standing by with tumblebug motorcycles.
Armed?
Pistols and tear gas as ordered, sir.
Good.
Assistant Supervisor Van Cleek is calling you on Circuit 9, sir.
Van Cleek. It's about time. Cut me in.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Van. Where are you?
Sacramento office. Now listen,
Sacramento. That's good. Report.
in a pig's eye.
What?
I'm not your deputy anymore, Gaines.
What are you talking about?
Listen, don't interrupt me and you'll find out. You're through, Gaines. I've been picked as director of the Engineers Control Committee. We're taking over.
Have you gone off your rotor?
We stopped Strip 20 just to give you a taste of what we can do. We're running things now.
And you don't really think you can get away with this?
You can't start Strip 20 until I'm ready to let you. I can stop the whole road if I have to.
Van Cleek, I'll call in the Army.
How will you get them here if the roads aren't rolling? Now listen, Gaines. Whoever controls the roads controls the country. And right now, that happens to be me. Now sign off, Gaines. Gotta call the White House. You behave yourself and you won't get hurt.
I don't believe it, sir.
He's got us, Edmonds. We go in and blast him out. He may wreck the road. What's your rolling tonnage now?
53% under evening peak, sir.
How about Strip 20?
Almost evacuated.
Listen in on this, Davidson.
Standing by, Chief.
I'm going down inside with these cadets. We'll work north, overcoming any resistance that we may meet. The watch technicians and maintenance crews are to follow behind us. Each rotor, as they come to it, is to be cut out from under Sacramento's control, then hooked into the Stockton control board. Understand?
Got it.
Check.
If it works right, we can move control of Sacramento sector right out from under Vance's feet, and he can stay in his office there till he's hungry enough to be reasonable. Edmonds, get me a pistol.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gaines, there's a man here. He's badly hurt. He wants to see you.
Take care of him. I haven't got time.
He's from Sacramento sector.
What? Bring him in.
All right. Easy. Come on. Easy.
Mr. Gaines,
You're Harvey from the Mechanics Union, aren't you?
I tried to warn you. I tried to get away. He shot me 3 times.
Get a doctor. All right. Easy, Harvey. How long's this been building up?
Is it the men? It's the engineers. I told them they were crazy. Told them the road's got to roll. When I tried to get away, they...
He's bleeding from the mouth, sir.
Harvey. Harvey, can you hear me?
He's dead, Mr. Gaines.
Come on, Edmonds. We better move.
Hey!
All right, you men. You saw Harvey brought in. How many of you want a chance to kill the louse that did it? Very well. You men turn in your weapons and return to quarters. We've got a job to do, to make sure the roads start rolling again. We haven't got time for infantile heroics. Anybody who hasn't got his mind on his job will be in the way. Now, here's the order. We move north, mounted on tumblebugs. We're going to try to regain control, rotor by rotor, before Sacramento sector knows we're moving. We've got to capture any watch personnel we run on before they can get word back. Surprise is vital. Use tear gas when possible. Shoot only when necessary. But get them before they can reach a phone jack. Any questions? No. Then move out. What's the score, Edmonds?
33 prisoners so far, nobody killed.
Whoops. Yes, since I rode one of these tumblebugs, I've gotten how to steer it.
Oh, sir, there's a man ahead. There at the rotor base.
He's got a phone jacked in. Hurry. If he gets word back, we're sunk.
I don't think he's seen us. I'll dismount and get him.
Quick, he sees us.
Here, you.
Look out, he's got a gun.
Oh, I got him.
Grab his gun.
Yes, sir.
You had a phone jacked in, all right. If we got through to Sacramento office, it's going to be tough.
I don't know, sir. Maybe he didn't get the call through.
Wait a minute. Listen.
The road.
Take off your noise filter. There. The road. The road is stopping. Halt your men.
Halt. Hold up there! Hold up!
There's a recon car coming up.
Relay station call from Mr. Gaines.
Give it to me.
Here you are, sir.
Gaines here.
Davidson here, Chief. Van Cleek's calling you.
Who stopped the road?
He did.
All right. Cut Van Cleek into me.
You thought I was fooling, huh, Gaines? What do you think now?
All right, Van, the road is stopped. You won this trick.
Then why don't you get smart and give up? You can't win.
You forgot something, Van. You can't lick the whole country.
Yeah? Gaines, I've got a switch button in my hand. If I push it, it'll blow 300 yards straight across the roads. And then for good measure, I'll take an axe and wreck the control station before I leave.
That's pretty drastic, Van.
Yeah, if I blow this charge in the middle of Sacramento sector, it'll get an awful lot of people. There are plenty of shopkeepers still on Strip 20, and that row of apartment houses next to the road will go.
Look, Van, you don't want to blow the road, neither do I. Suppose I come up to your headquarters and talk this over. Two reasonable men ought to be able to make a settlement.
Is this some kind of a trick?
I'll come alone and unarmed. My men will stay here.
All right. All right, Gaines. But one wrong move, and I blow the road.
We've got to hurry, Dave. If I take too long, Van Cleek will get edgy and set off that charge.
Failure report notes?
1, strips must be cross-connected with safety interlocks, so that when one dies, the others slow down. 2, the men.
I can't understand it. Psych tests are rigid. We've never had a failure in the Hum-Wadsworth-Burton method. And then suddenly a whole sector goes sour. How could Van Cleek get a whole crew of psych-cleared men to revolt?
It's easy, Dave. As my deputy, he was ex-officio personnel officer for the whole road. He must have been faking psych records for years and transferring maladjusted men into his sector.
I've got that personnel record, Mr. Gaines.
Man's record. Masked introvert. Inferiority rating 7. Comment. Despite a potential instability shown on Wadsworth Curve, this officer is especially adept in handling men. He's adept, all right. I haven't got time for any more, Dave.
You're not going up there to Sacramento office.
I've got to.
He'll be armed. He'll kill you.
I've got to take that chance.
But unarmed? Why don't you call in the Army? He won't dare blow the road.
Yes, he would. Look at that psych record. He's putting up a big, brave front, but he's rotten inside. He wants to be taken seriously. He wants everybody to think he's the most dangerous man in the country. And if I call the Army in, he'll try to prove it by blowing the road.
How can you stop him, Mr. Gaines? He'll have a gun. What'll you have?
What'll I have? Only a prayer. And what I know about Mr. Van Cleek.
All right, Gaines. Director Van Cleek will see you now. Gaines is here, Director Van Cleek.
Come in, Gaines. Behaving sensibly at last. You know I've got you where I want you, and there isn't anything you can do about it.
I searched him, Director. He's unarmed.
Mm-hmm. I want you to sign this now. It's a declaration of your recognition of the Engineers Control Committee. You've got 1 minute to sign it, Gaines, or I'll push this button and blow up the whole sector.
You better sign, Gaines.
You need this gorilla with the gun, Van?
Hey, you
Can't you handle one unarmed man alone?
All right, Harry, out.
What?
Out?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now sign. What's so funny?
You are. You start a revolution because you think the engineer should control the road. Then when you've got control, the only thing you can think of to do is blow it up. Tell me, what are you so scared of?
I'm not scared.
Yeah? Sitting there sweating all over that push button you're holding? Your buddies knew how afraid you were. They'd probably throw you into the rotors.
I'm not afraid.
You're afraid of me right now. You're afraid I'll have you on the carpet. You're afraid the cadets won't salute you. You're afraid they're laughing at you behind your back.
No, I'm not. Now, you keep quiet. I've got a gun.
You're afraid of using the wrong fork at dinner. You're afraid people are looking at you, laughing at you.
I am not, you dirty, stuck-up snob. Just because you went to a high-hat school, you think you're better than anybody, you and your crummy little gold-braid cadets.
Van, you're a pathetic little shrimp.
Huh?
I understand you perfectly. You're a third-rater.
Oh.
All your life you've been afraid that someone would see through you and send you to the foot of the class.
Oh, yeah.
Throw you right out on your rear where you belong. I don't want to look at you anymore.
I'll show you. I'll put a bullet in
Put
you.
down that pop gun before you hurt yourself.
Don't you come near me.
Don't you come near me or I'll shoot! I'll shoot!
Give me that.
No! Let me go!
Give that pistol.
And thanks for not disappointing me, Van.
I don't understand.
I thought if I wounded your little ego, you'd forget to push that button and pull a trigger instead. I'm afraid you'll never make a good executive, Van. They have to know when to push buttons.
Davidson.
Gaines here.
Chief, are you all right? Are you?
I'm all right. Attack now and mop up. I'll hold the control room. I've got Van Cleek, and I think his little revolution is just about over.
Hear them hum, watch them run. Oh, our job is never done, for our roadways go rolling along. While you ride, while you glide, we are watching down inside, so your roadways keep rolling along.
Mr. Gaines! Mr. Gaines!
Mr. Evans, I forgot about you.
Yes, I've been waiting at the sector office. Is everything under control?
All rolling. Those are the watch engineers going under to check Sacramento's sector inch by inch.
Remarkable organization. Remarkable.
Hourly's in, Chief. San Diego Circle rolling. Bakersfield, Fresno, Stockton.
Stockton? Stockton? Oh, no.
What's the matter, Chief?
Trouble, Mr. Gaines?
It sure is. I promised to meet my wife at Stockton for a show. She's been waiting there since 9 o'clock last night. Dave, see if you can get her for me. Try the sector office.
All right, Chief.
And Dave, see if you can calm her down.
Oh, sure, Chief. I'll tell her the roads must roll.
No, don't tell her that. I don't think she'd appreciate it. She's heard it too often.
Oh, it's high, high, E, the roller men are we.
I better get going. Bye, Dave. Keep 'em rolling.
Anywhere you go, you are bound to know that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling, that your roadways go rolling along. Keep them rolling.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
Good morning, weirdos. How are we today? I'm drinking coffee, babies. I'm wiped out. I'm at the end of my rope. Get a rope. Oh, that's good stuff. That is good stuff right there. See my coffee hiding behind the copy machine. Copies. Been making copies of stuff. Actually just been printing things out. For my, my records. Not records. Keeping track. Those kinds of records. You know. Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. This is episode 51 of season 3 of Mornings with Me. 51 episodes of this season. 32 the first season. 36 the second season. So, a couple of more weeks and we will surpass both first and second seasons in their entirety. Right? Like, whoa, oh my god, no way. How can he do that? Because he won't shut up. Leave him alone, Harry. The poor dumb son of a bitch. You don't know any better. Boy, mine just sound a little raspy. I'm still getting over that my body wanting to be sick thing, but I ain't letting it. I can't get sick. Physically, I can't afford it. If I got a flu or a cold or one of those other things that are going around, it would screw me up totally. It might even kill me. So I really have to stay on the ball, so to speak. Good news. Well, good news and bad news. Good news for us, bad news for Charlie. Charlie can't go home. Charlie's sick. They have a baby on the way where Charlie is in Arizona. So Charlie gets to stay here more. Aren't we lucky? Yes, we are. We are so lucky. So there's that. So The kids are. Natalie's doing okay. She's a fighter like me. She'll just keep eating and drinking and taking a vitamin here or there, and get a lot of rest. So by Wednesday, she has to go to orientation for the University of San Bernardino. So, yeah, there's that. Her and her buddy Deja, who is also attending the same school, they're going to go down together. I told him, you know what, work with the counselors. Try to find out if you guys can get as many classes on the same day as possible. They don't have to be at the same time. They just need to be on the same day. You know, one of you in class, one of you in the library working. And you switch. And then you come home. Right? Kill it. Totally kill it. Do it at the university. Do your homework there. Get it over with. When I was in high school, I did all my homework in school. What I could do, when I could do it. Because I knew I wasn't going to get it done at home. Right? The drive time from here to the university and back is going to be a killer, right? It's going to be over an hour each way. So they need to take advantage of as much time as possible spent on the campus, because when you're in that environment, when I was going to college out here 10 years ago, I would spend my in-between the classes at the library working and getting shit done. So I didn't have to bring much home, you know. It's important, you know, to find a good structure for doing your schoolwork. So we've got Charlie here indefinitely. Charlie doesn't go to school. Charlie's finished high school. And doesn't have a steady employment back there, so maybe Charlie can find something here. You know, I had to let him know that it's okay. You know, we're pretty laid back. And I don't put a price on people. So it's not like there's a dollar sign hanging over the kid's head about being here, right? The only thing that's required of that person is that they take care of themselves. That's it. Anyone who comes into my home just has to be responsible for taking care of themselves, doing whatever they need to do to make sure that they are on the up, on the mend, on the change, getting things better, working toward the positivity, right? No floundering, no loafing, no just going, oh, fuck it. You know, get her done. Whatever that is, read a book, you know, finish that video game, finish that TV show, whatever it is, put yourself into it and do it, right? And, you know, just let things happen, you know, let things happen, let it work itself out organically, you know, so, and I know what it's like to be young and not know what the fuck's going on in the world, you know. I mean, the only reason my daughter's got it together is because she's in school and she's allowing that to kind of focus her and direct her and keep her from just kind of floundering, right? Which many of us do at that age, 19, 20, 21. You know, we're just running around going, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to party, right? And that's cool, but she's getting it done, and she's partying, and she's living life, you know, and that's it. That's what you got to do. And if we can help in some way, be some kind of positive influence, change, whatever, for Charlie, you know, bring it on. You know, I'm all in it. You know, Charlie's family, Natalie's closest, dearest friends are family. It's the way I see it. You know, if she's chosen these people to be her closest friends and confidants, you know, who am I to say, well, you can't hang out with those people, they're different, right? No, my job is to embrace the things that she embraces and let her know that I'm behind her and next to her and in front of her, giving her a hand forward if she needs it. You know, wherever she needs me, that's where I am. And worrying about the kinds of people that she's with is not an issue, because we raised a good kid, and she knows how to choose good people to be friends. You know, she's changed friends a few times throughout junior high and high school, and she's done it for her, all right, because it benefits her, all right. She still stays in contact with people, but she's decided who her core friendship group is, you know, and that's important to be able to do that, you know. And she's a loner like me, pretty much. She's a homebody, you know. So she does spend a lot of time at home. Boy, that speed is fast this morning. My goodness. Oh boy. Oh, I hate the coffee hiccups. Go away, hiccups. Thank you very much. Hiccups. That was the last episode of The Great Gildersleeve that premiered, was the Hiccups episode. And boy, can Gildersleeves hiccup. Man. Whew. How'd you like that radio show this morning? Did you listen to that radio show that we did the pre-show with, The Roads Must Roll? It is one more of those semi-prophetic stories by Robert Anson Heinlein, my most favorite science fiction author. He's written a lot of great stories that have been turned into films, a lot of great stories that have yet to be turned into films, and so many more stories that you would not believe. They started making his books into movies in 1950. I'm gonna say 55. Rocket Ship XM to the Moon, I think. Is that what I'm thinking of? He's done so many stories that have been pulled into the films. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. One notable film is the the bug movie. Oh man, Starship Troopers, right? Starship Troopers. That is a Robert Heinlein story. The Puppet Masters, not the Puppet Master, right? But the Puppet Masters from the 1990s, starring Donald Sutherland, is one of his stories. where these aliens come down to Earth, and they're just these little bat-like things that attach themselves to your back and then stick a thing up your spine and control your brain, and now they're like controlling you. They're like the puppet masters, right? Great fucking story. One of the stories that's very, very close to the original. The only difference is the book is a little more futuristic than the movie, but it's still a great fucking movie. Richard Belzer has a small part in there. Yeah, just a great movie. Among others, honestly, I can't think of anything right now. I haven't had enough coffee in me yet, but good stuff. So it is Monday Movie Memories. Time to remember movies. Anybody watch the Friday night movie, Pick Up Summer? I haven't watched it yet. I think I was watching something here with my wife during the premiere, and I've been busy all weekend. I haven't had a chance to watch it. So if anybody has watched it, please shoot me a message. Let me know what you think. I got one message from someone this morning who actually watched it, and from someone who actually watched it way back when, back in the 80s or 90s, when it was on like Night Flight or something, you know, on one of those weird channels, you know. Let's see, let me go over to YouTube here really quick and see if yeah, we'll see what we can see. Let's see, somebody sent me a message about this movie. Here it is. And the message is, I remember watching this on USA Up All Night. Really cool to see the uncensored version. Very cool. Very cool indeed. To watch it, but seen it since then either. Either. Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. I love digging these old movies up. Let's see. Ooh. What do we got? Well, we got good against evil. Right. Should be fine. Totally, man. Oh, wow. I'm going to reply now. Hello. Can I do something here with my stamps? Can I hit some stamps? Can I do my stampy tone? Oh, man. Just reply. Oh. Pick up some. I need to make some graphics for a couple of things that I uploaded. Belch. Belch? I said belch. No, really. No, really. Oh, man. Man. Looks like by the by the end of next week, I will have uploaded 400 videos. Well, I will have 400 videos, whether they're live or uploaded or original or borrowed or whatever. 400 videos. Right? I want to apologize to anyone who was watching the Night of the Living Dead when somebody decided to make a copyright claim on it. I'm sorry also if I've infringed upon anyone's YouTube stuff or stepped on any toes, but it is a free use movie. It is public domain. The version that I uploaded was the 1968 original theatrical version transferred from 16 millimeter. I mean, there's just no way to make a copyright claim on that, yet someone did, and now I have to go through the rigmarole of getting that lifted for a movie that's, I have to fight for a movie that's, you know, obviously public domain. So things may change on my channel drastically. I may switch to a completely radio show lineup and dropping in occasional movies that have educational or historical value, more like educational films and that kind of stuff. And if I stick to educational films, I'm more than likely not going to get hit with copyright claims, especially bogus copyright claims that, you know, border on harassment, right? Because yeah, I don't even know these people, you know, and I got nothing against anybody, and somebody's going to poke at me for what reason I do not know. All I can say is I'm just here to share my life and the things that made my life, you know, what it is. Things that made my life worth living, things that, you know, changed my life, things that directed my life, sculpted who I am, you know. So there's a lot of that on this channel, you know. Even movies like the Pickup Summer, right? 1970s, 1980, pinball was a big deal. Arcades were a really big deal. I was one of those kids that would have been in the movie standing around watching, not having any quarters, you know, not wanting to get too close to anybody because I'm probably wearing dirty clothes, you know, drooling over other people's food because I'm hungry, you know. That would have been me back then. But at the same time, you know, movies like Pickup Summer are exactly the kind of movies that I would be sitting and watching late night at a friend's house on their HBO, because I ain't got none of that at home, you know. So this would have been an HBO Cinemax movie watched at Andy's house in the middle of the night at one of the overnight parties. You know, everybody else is passed out, and I'm up all night with the TV. And that's the way it was. And it's pretty much always been. I was up late last night with the TV. What was I watching last night? I watched a couple episodes of The Pacific, the 10-part miniseries. Kind of like the sister series to Band of Brothers, right? The Pacific Theater. So I'm hoping they do another one. I'm hoping they do a third miniseries about World War II. And they've done the European theater. They've done the Pacific Theater. Why don't we do the home front, you guys? There was a lot of shit going on the home front from before Pearl Harbor until after D-Day. There was a shitload of stuff going on the home front. There were a lot of people busting their asses to help win World War II. Right? And whether you go for any of the reality, you know, or want to live in an alternate reality and say, well, you know, that never happened, or we don't need to go back there, whatever. Cancel yourself out. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing there, buddy. But I think it would be real important to see the things, the crazy shit that went on during the war here at home, right? And the women pilots, right? The Lend-Lease deal where we were taking ships and stuff back and forth. Okay, before the war, before we got involved, when there were a lot of our pilots over there fighting because we weren't joining the war yet, so they wanted to fight, so they went to England and joined up the Air Corps over there, you know. But there was a lot of stuff going on here, just a ton of shit. You know, we were breaking our backs here to make shit happen. Is it important enough for a 10-part miniseries? Sure. For the whole, from, 37, 38 on into, 46, 47. Come on. A 10-year swatch of history there. Yeah. Totally. Why not? Yeah. Why fucking not? Oh my God, new way. Looks like I need to have, I guess, some more weight. That's about that time. Once a week. Gotta get a satchel once a week. It's just making a lot of noise here. Making a lot of noise. But yeah, man, it's like I'm totally telling you, man. The home front. Because when I was a kid, I heard a lot about Vietnam. I heard a lot about World War II. And listened to a lot of old-time radio and watched a lot of old movies and newsreels and stuff like The World at War and Victory at Sea and a lot of those documentaries. And there were always little blurbs about home front, back at home, Rosie Riveter, all these different aspects of what was going on. To make the fighting happen, to make it last, to make it work, right? There's a lot of people. They say that there's like 10 guys for every one. For every one guy out on the line, there's 10 people behind the line backing him or her up, right? Well, back then it was him. But is it that way now? I don't think so. I don't think it's like that way now, You got a couple of people, and they're usually family members who are backing you up. You, quite honestly, not even your country backs you up once you become a soldier. Nowadays you become a soldier, you go off to war, you fight, you come back, and you have to look to private organizations, citizen groups, people that have put stuff together to help other people because they know their government is going to, as soon as you get home, your government's going to turn your back. They barely have your back while you're a soldier, right? I mean, wives of soldiers have to get together to help each other, clothe their own kids, feed each other, pay the bills, right? They struggle to make ends meet just so that they can pick up a weapon and go shoot in the direction they're pointed in, right? And is it worth it? I don't know. I guess to some people it is. If soldiering was a different breed here in the United States, the right way, we would have more people volunteering to be soldiers, right? We would have we'd have to be turning people away in droves because everybody would want to be a soldier to receive the benefits, but there are no benefits. There are very few benefits that you take with you the rest of your life, from being a soldier, Believe me, I know. My father was a soldier and had to struggle just the 2 years that he was there, in country or here. He had to struggle. It was a fight. And it shouldn't be like that, You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to be in another country, fighting for your country, worrying about whether or not your country is taking care of your family back home. Right? That's deplorable. That's hideous. That's anti-American, right? That's anti-human. You know, war is bad enough, but then you make people go out and fight your war, and then you won't even take care of them. You won't even fucking take care of them. You know. And then you point at us and say it's your responsibility. You create these issues in people. You create these monsters, right? And then you send them back to us, broken, disturbed, you know. And then we have to deal with it. We have to foot the bill to take care of them, foot the bill to take care of putting them back together, dealing with their PTSD, hoping that they don't transfer it to their family, among other things, the violence and the abuse. And then chances are they're just going to come home for a year or two and realize that they can't fit and function in society any longer, and they just re-up and go back into country, you know, and wind up giving themselves over to that life. You know, let me get this coffee hot here. So yesterday we were cleaning a couple of Airbnbs, which is what we do. We clean vacation rentals. It's not great money, but it's good enough that if we keep our lifestyle minimal, then we can function when our income does this, right? It's a roller coaster. So if we keep everything on a minimal level, then we can still function and survive and thrive and save. But we're cleaning this Airbnb, right? And I'm just scrubbing every little thing to get these greasy little grubby little handprints off of glass and counters and everything. And I'm thinking, how horrible are these parents that, you know, that children with hands these big, all right, the hands this large, are touching the glass and touching everything, right? And they're leaving not just fingerprints, all right, but sticky, filmy, gooey, food-encrusted, slimy handprints. Like they're just walking around with schmutz all over themselves constantly, right? And you can see it. They touch a face, a head to the window, and there's this greasy, slimy face print. Like, how horrible are you that you allow your children, first of all, to walk around in that kind of condition, right? In that disgusting condition, whether you're at home or not, all right? It makes no difference. Second, why are you not teaching your children how to take care of themselves better, right? Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. That should happen 6 times a fucking day, all right? At the least, with children. Go wash your hands. Stop getting into shit. Stop making a mess. Stop touching things. What happened with parents teaching their children, don't touch that, that's not yours. Don't touch that, that's not yours. Don't touch that, that doesn't belong to you. You can't touch that. Parents don't do this anymore. Don't walk around touching stuff. I'd get the fucking shit slapped out of me if I went around touching, leaving greasy fucking fingerprints on everything. You know? It's sad. I mean, it's really sad that people are raising such spoiled, entitled, little shit-stained fucking humans that don't give a shit, first of all, about anyone else, let alone themselves. They don't give a shit about themselves enough to keep their fucking hands clean, and if not, keep them to themselves, okay? Teach your fucking children, You know, you pathetic pieces of fucking shit parents. Teach your fucking kids. Well, we don't clean up after our kids. The maid does that. Well, obviously. You know, obviously, the only thing you do is give your kid a fucking screen and tell him to go away. You know, and look at that. That screen, that has probably got to be the most nastiest, bacterial, fucking infested piece of garbage. Ugh. Fucking people. You know, you make me sick. You make me fucking sick. You know, get your heads out of your asses. Raise some actual human beings and not these little fucking monsters that run around on the ground touching everything and grubbing on fucking everything, you know. Stop paying the fucking babysitter to raise your fucking kids, because the babysitter don't give a shit about what kind of fucking people you're putting out, right? The babysitter cares about one fucking thing, how much you're paying. You ain't paying enough for her to raise your fucking kids, so therefore she's gonna make your kids go fucking wash their fucking hands. And then if the maid or the babysitter is in charge of making your kids wash your hands, well, they ain't gonna fucking do it for you. They're gonna do it for fucking Rosita. They ain't gonna do it for you. You know? And they probably ain't gonna do it for her because you haven't taught your kids to pay the hired help any respect, right? They're just hired help. Your kids probably treat the hired help as shitty as you do. You know? Fucking sad. It's fucking sad. You know? Sad day in fucking humanity. Don't get me started, Jesus. Yeah, it's just, it's deplorable. It's fucking hideous. The stupid fucking nonsense that goes on anymore. You know? Just fucking stupid. You would think, but no. Not a chance. Yeah. I mean, I see it when I go out and I see, you know, teenagers and 20-year-old people, even sometimes in their 30s, who just walk around with no respect, no care for the person next to them. Their world is whatever they want, and if they don't, it ain't their fucking problem, you know. And you know, there's no respect for anyone. There's no respect for themselves, obviously. You know, look at them, you know. And who raised all of these people to think that their shit don't fucking stink and they can just do whatever they want? And fuck the police. I don't have to pull over. What? No, I don't have to. Excuse me? No, I don't have to. You ain't my boss. Well, if you ain't gonna follow the rules, then yeah, I am your fucking boss. Oh man, is that a dog? I'll be right back. Totally. No, actually, I think it's the birds outside. They're waking up. Them birds is waking up out there. So, yeah, update on the swamp cooler installation. We went to Home Depot last night again, and I got the vent that I need. It is it's not a register, it's a stackable vent box, all right? So it's the 6-inch round duct that goes into the rectangular 4x10, 6x10, 4x10 register vent, right? So what I can do is I can point the round end up, take the rectangular end, and create my vent duct into that, so I can go from the 19.5-inch by 19.5-inch square and create a vent duct that goes up into a 8x4 rectangular vent, or 10x4 rectangular, right? Which is going to be way easy now. And I'm going to create it out of cardboard or chipboard paper. I've got these large pieces of paper that are just big enough to tape where I want, and then create the angles out of it in pencil, and then cut out my panel, and then take that and lay it down on sheet metal and transfer it, and then trim it out with my foldable edges on it, right? So bada bing. Easy peasy. So now that I've worked out as much as possible in my head to avoid extra spending and extra work and redoing shit, because had I started the first time, I'd be on my third or fourth version right now, trying to figure it out. Or I would have started off and completed an okay version of it. So we're going to go from the piece that I create, right? We're going to go from that into a round tube, and it's going to go directly into an elbow and turn and go into a 6 foot, 8 foot section that's just a 6-inch tube that's going to go into a splitter, and it is going to split off and go to 2 vents, and that's it. And I think the only thing I have to do is get inside of the T, the 6-inch duct T, right? And I have to get down into the center where the center comes in and splits off, and I need to do a little bit of a metal flange, so that the air doesn't just come in and hit and then push out, but kind of gets directed. And I don't know that it's necessary. I mean, air conditioning guys are going, what the fuck's he going to do that for? That's pointless. I probably won't, right? I'm going to keep hashing shit out in my head and working toward the end goal until I get there with as much satisfaction as I can. But yeah, I'm going to have a vent right here pushing right down onto me. Boom. Another vent, boom, pushing right down into the back of the house. And that should be it. At some point, if we need to vent into the kitchen area, we will. But I think it's going to be forced too fast, too hard to go straight into the kitchen. I think it'd probably just, no matter what, even on low, because we're reducing 19.5 inches down to, 6 inches. The pressure is going to be pretty great. That, which is what I want. I want that air to get forced into that end of the house. I can close this vent down at night and just have all of the air headed toward my bedroom, right? Keep my door open, and a little crack in a window, and that air should be just a hurricane through my freaking room. That's what I need. In order to sleep, I got to have a good breeze going and some noise. A noisy breeze. Yeah. Of course, I do sleep out here on occasion. A few times a month, once or twice a week, I'll sleep out here in the daybed. Hi, Bessie. And mainly because at the beginning of the week, I kind of stay up late. I didn't last night. Last night I was in bed early, trying to get to sleep early. I think I was out by 11. Of course, I got up 2 or 3 times, but still. But I like sleeping out here because, by the end of the week, I'm only getting 1 or 2 hours sleep at night, and to go in there and to try to go to sleep in with my wife for an hour, 2 hours, it's impossible. First of all, I need the TV on or a fan or something on. Sometimes I go in there and it's dead quiet, and it's like I can't sleep in here because first of all it's too quiet, and then if I turn on any noise, then now I'm waking her up. So it's like, okay, if I'm just going to lay down for a couple of hours, I'll do my TV and air and noise and stuff out here and just sleep for a couple of hours and get up and do my thing. and not have to bother anyone. The dogs are up and down, up and down, up and down, you know. Lights and air and TV off and on, and it's like, fuck it. Why harangue her about it, you know? And now I got Big Face Bessie. We brought her bed in here next to the day bed. So when I'm sleeping out here, now she can sleep out here too. Yeah, it's nice to have somebody around. Oh, bag of broken glass. Alright, so it's time for that first bong hit of the day. Cheers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I went back to Walmart last night again, you know. Of course, Walmart, the weekend is the worst time to go to Walmart, but it seems like that's the only time we really want to go, because that's when we're out doing stuff. It's like, we're going to be out, we got to clean a house, let's just go by Walmart and deal with it, come back. Let's go Home Depot and come back. So twice, Saturday and then Sunday. Home Depot and Walmart, both. Of course, last night at Home Depot, I came closer to getting things together for the swamp cooler installation. You know, I never do anything fast. It's not so much that I procrastinate, that I don't want to redo things. I don't want to do things and then have to redo it and then, fuck, it's not right yet. So I do a lot of planning, I do a lot of thinking, I do a lot of drawing, and here's the drawing, right? Here's a drawing. And it's just a couple of little pieces, what I thought would be something, the right angle of the pieces I need to make, you know. And those are not even close. I mean, they're similar. But I'm going to have to literally put the machine in there, tape some paper up where I want this thing to be, and then just draw it into where I want it to go. And then cut it out, lay it down, stencil it, get some tin snips, and bada bing, baby, bada bing. Bending and folding and screwing and taping and yeah, I've never done any air conditioning duct work before, but I've seen a lot of it. I've seen a lot of it on the job, in person. I've seen a lot of those fancy pants how to fix it shows, you know, Bob Vila and that kind of shit, right? So I know what to do. I know what tools I need. I know how to do it. I know what the outcome needs to be. All of that shit, you know. And if I don't, then I'll watch a video or look at one of the books at Home Depot, if they still have books. I don't even know if they still have a library there anymore. They used to have a great bookstore at Home Depot, and because I haven't been doing handyman work in a couple of years, I haven't checked. You know, but I used to go there, and it was like if I had any questions while I was at the store, I could go to the little book library there, the bookstore, and find the issue, electrical, roofing, plumbing, whatever. I'd be able to find it there, work out my issues, see what I need to do with the correct way, what I need, parts and material and that kind of shit, and then take a photo if I needed to. Bada bing. Easy peasy. Of course, it's, you know, nowadays you just Google it, and then you, more than likely, they're going to send you to a YouTube video. You know, and that's usually the way it works now. More people are doing stuff via YouTube how-to videos. You know, there's a lady who a few years ago built her entire house using YouTube tutorials, right? She got a contractor, and her contractor said, okay, this is the first step. And so she YouTube videoed a bunch of stuff and learned how to do it on YouTube, and then did that first step. And then she did every step after that using YouTube tutorials. Didn't hire a contractor except for to be in charge of permits and making sure things were done right. Come by and check on me once a week and make sure that I'm going in the right direction. Have somebody on call that you can call and say, hey man, is this right? This doesn't seem right, right? So that's very cool, you know. A single mom able to create her own home using videos and her own self to do it, you know. The house that Jane built, fucking A. It's awesome sauce right there. Cheers. But yeah, more and more people are just using YouTube and Google and stuff. So much information out there. You know, it's so easy to just do it yourself. You know, I mean, back in the 80s when the Home Depots and Lowe's and stuff started to pop up everywhere, and the idea of home improvement popped up, and people started to want to put more equity into their homes, and they wanted to make money on their homes by investing so that when they sold it was worth more, yada yada yada. And people figured out that they could do shit themselves, you know, and it would have cost a third to do it yourself, because you could get the stuff, everything at Home Depot, you know. And it started way before that, you know, American ingenuity and know-how. You guys remember, what do we got here? So I have some here. You guys remember something, let's see, here we go. A magazine called Popular Mechanics. All right, Popular Mechanics was a really heavy magazine from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And okay, here's one from April of 1982. All right, and this is a Popular Mechanics magazine. Now, the great things about Popular Mechanics was you would get complete plans to creating things in your own home, right? So not only did you get a magazine every week that had fantastic stories about what was going on in the world, engineering-wise, mechanically, right? You would look 7 complete plans, build this gate leg table, mobile kitchen island to make, plus much more, all right? And if you go in here and open up traditional carved dining set from plywood, right? It gives you everything. It gives you a set of blueprints, plans, measurements, instructions, the works, right? Everything down to the exact specification, how to sand it and stain it, the works, everything. And all you had to do was have a workshop. That's it. And almost every middle-aged man in America had a workshop. In fact, when that part of America kind of just fade away and go away from Dad's workshop, you saw so many yard sales with Dad's workshop tools. Yeah, old Grandpa or old Dad, yeah, he's gone now, but we still got this garage full of tools we don't know what to do with, right? That's not a bummer, right? You know, it's so neat when you see that workshop now in the hands of the son, and then the grandson, and then the great-grandson, and have those tools utilized for generations and generations, right? And it's so sad when you're at a yard sale and you're looking around through boxes of stuff, and you start to put the pieces together about what this guy's life was all about, right? And the fact that now it can just be written off and discarded, you know, for a few nickels on the dollar. Once again, it's sad, you know. It's just really sad, especially when you look at all of the hardware and tools and things that are sold off at yard sales for nickels, so that people can take that and go to Walmart and buy stuff for hundreds of dollars that's never going to have the life that that tool had. That tool lasted almost 100 years, right, of doing its job, and now it's discarded, probably going to wind up on a shelf or in a landfill, right, and never get used again, so that you can pass that up and go buy a power battery operated thingy that is going to last a year or two before it winds up in the landfill, right? And then they sit side by side in the landfill, and one decays, you know, after 100 years, and one is still there fighting off rust and decay to survive. That's what Americans do. They use it up and then throw it away, you know, and then complain about it after it's given you all that life, you know, and all that pleasure and satisfaction. You know, oh, that damn thing, I'm going to get rid of it and get one of these new things. And then, of course, 10 years later, you're like, oh, I wish I had that damn old thing that I used to have. No regrets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just the amount of plans. And it shows you how things work. You know, engineering feats, and, you know, like on the first solar-powered balloon on the front. One of these, one of those airplanes with the weird-looking wing configurations and the propeller in the back, and, you know, that's heavy. Little wings up front, big wings in the back. Yeah. Oh, and the back page ads were always, you know, just freaking awesome. Just awesome, yeah. And you could order so many tools, you know, plans. You can order plans. Wow. Light boxes and sconces. That's pretty cool. Wow. Huh. Solar water heaters. Very interesting. Kubota tractor. Totally, man. Oh, look, there's Bruce Jenner at home working out. There he is. Totally. Peerless faucets. Yeah, you know what? They don't make magazines like this anymore. You know, they don't want people to build their own shit that's going to last forever, passed down from generation to generation. They just want you to fucking fill up those landfills, man. I mean, we used to see handyman homes, right? A handyman special, which means that the guy who lived in that house before he died and his family selling it off, built all the cabinets, built all of the fixtures, handmade just about everything in the house, right? all the kitchen cabinets, you know, the cool little... We clean a house up by the park that was built in the 1950s, right? And it's a handyman special, something that was built out here as a hunting lodge to come out from the city, probably San Bernardino or something, LA. And they'd come out here and they'd build these cool little cabins to come out and party on the weekends and hunt. Probably bury a lot of bodies, right? So you can look in this house and you can see that all of the kitchen cabinets were handmade. You can see that whoever built this house touched everything in this house while creating it. All the kitchen cabinets are board panels. The shelves, or the cabinet doors down below are boards. The drawer faces are the same boards. 4 mica countertops that he brought in. All of the bathroom cabinets, there's one bathroom cabinet in the newer edition, right? You can see that bathroom cabinet and countertop and sink and toilet and shower are all new, like from the 1980s or 90s, right? It's a recent addition. And you can totally see the difference between the guy who originally built the place and somebody who took over, added on, and created this part of it, right? But you go throughout the old part of the house and you see all of the handyman touches. The wood frame border around the tile work in the shower, the bathtub, an old hard metal porcelain bathtub, an original sink, 1950s sink, the fireplace, a total handmade fireplace. Really bitchin' old house. And it's for sale right now. And it's like, honey, I'd love to live here. You know, the garage is halfway converted into an apartment. You know, boom, there's Natalie's house. You know, it's small, but it's really, really nice. They're probably asking way too much for it. And like I said, I could never afford to get into a mortgage. Just looking at a mortgage, and I'm upside down. So, no way. No way. So I need to win the lottery, or somebody needs to win the lottery and buy me this house, right?
What did he say? He wants me to buy him a house? What the fuck is he? Leave him alone, Harry. He's poor.
That ain't the half of it, Harry. Oh my goodness. Poor, well, you know, I wouldn't exactly say I'm poor. I mean, I'm one of the richest people I know if we're not talking about money. We're talking about cold coffee. I'm wealthy. I gotta heat this up. O'clock, 6 in the a.m. Good morning, weirdos. It's 6 a.m. Do you know where your weirdness is? I know where mine is. Oh, I am the weirdness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I can't believe this is episode 51 of this shit. 51 plus 32 plus 36, right? So that's 68 plus 51. So that's so 109. No, that can't be right. 51, 68, 19. That's 119. Is that right? 119 episodes. 119 morning show episodes. Yeah. I'll smoke to that. Because that's been one of the main features of this morning show. Coffee and bong hits.
My God, doesn't he know that's bad for him? Leave him alone, Harry. He's killing pain. He's not trying to kill himself. You're telling me, man. You're fucking telling me, man. So thank you to the 162 subscribers. I seem to be fluctuating around this number right now, which is cool. Like I said before, if it gets too big too quick, I'm going to get overwhelmed and right. And I don't need that. I'm not here to gather subscribers like bits of gold, right? If this was monetized, then that would probably be important. The most important thing about this channel, I guess, is just making a connection with people. So if there's something you want to talk about, something on your head, if you're having an issue, a problem, if you need something resolved, or you have some kind of technical, mechanical, engineering thing, you're trying to work out some logistics in your life, someone's bugging you, you got family issues, whatever, talk to me, use me as a sounding board. If you ask anyone that I know, I may not give out great advice, but I do give out varied advice. I come up with different ways of thinking, and if it doesn't suit you the way that I come up with an idea, it will usually spark something in you that will take you in the right direction, right? And you'll be like, oh, no, shut up, I got it now, thanks, shut up, right? And that's like, oh, okay, and if I can do that, then hey, I've done my part. But if you need help with something, advice from a crazy old weird bearded guy on something, hit me up. It could be worse. You might have to ask somebody that you know and get looked at as being stupid. Did he really ask me that? What a putz. Right, so no judging here. You got something you need to talk about, shoot. Just don't shoot the messenger. Right? Totally. So, yeah, there you go. I'm gonna boogity bangity bangity boogity. So let's see. Along with dealing with that copyright thing this week, I will be finishing up videos for uploading videos for next week and creating videos for the following week. So this week, Friday's movie is Good Against Evil from 1977 with a guest star, Kim Cattrall, right? Next week, I had plans of introducing a series called The Day the Universe Changed, but because of copyright fears, I don't think I'm going to do that one. I don't even think I'm going to even try to upload it. I think I'm just going to try to put something in that spot that I know will pass muster, and then once again try to pick out a couple of movies for the week that have no really economic significance that I should be able to get away with airing them, right? But most of next week is uploaded. Yeah, most of next week is uploaded. All of the X-1s, all of the radio shows are uploaded. Most of the TV shows and movies, I have yet to come up with 1, 2, 3, 4 things. That's it. Once again, I get down to the end, and it's just those 4 elements that prove kind of squishy because copyright. I don't want to go to the copyright school. I want to save that as a way to get out of a copyright strike, right? So if I can't get this guy to remove the claim against Night of the Living Dead, which it's just ridiculous, then I'm going to have to fight it, and then it'll be like, look, there's 3 other people on YouTube that I found like that, who are using the whole movie as it is, right? And then people sharing portions of the Criterion collection, discussing it and commenting on it, right? So yeah, I've got to wonder about this, and it's the algorithm. I mean, until I make a claim on it, the algorithm is just following along with whatever this person said about this, and then go against me here. So, in order to play the game, I have to make a counterclaim, right? I don't want to do that. I would rather save those things for later on when it's something serious, you know. So, and then I'm going to have to look up the rules, how many claims you can get in a certain amount of time before they're erased and start over again. When does your record clear up? Does it ever? And that kind of crap. So I'll have to look into the rules and regulations. Once again, I don't want to go to the copyright school at YouTube to learn about all of this stuff until I need to get out of some kind of copyright trouble. And I don't think that this is the appropriate time for that. So I'll probably just write something up and submit it and answer their questions and do a counterclaim and say, hey, look, you know, I tried to contact the guy. He's not into it. I'm just doing this, you know, for fun. I ain't making money on it. And besides, it's a free use. It's public domain, this movie. So nobody can claim it. Nobody, right? Not even the owner can claim ownership on it anymore. He had to remaster and re-release it in order to get ownership of the fucking movie. And that sucks. But this is here and we can use it. So I'm going to do that. There you go. And anything else that I can find that is public domain, free use stuff, then I will, you know, if it fits the channel, then I'll bring it to you. I can bring a lot of radio stuff to this channel. I don't need to bring the video stuff. I can be the video and bring audio, you know, the old-time radio stuff. But I love to watch these old TV shows and old movies and stuff, especially the educational films, you know. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to finish with Nova as far as it lines up with the other TV shows. And I think the first show to burn out, I'm going to decide, all right, I'm just going to let these shows burn out now. All right. And then maybe with the first show that burns out, I'll burn out all of them and just say, okay, that's it, I'm done. And it's going to hinge on copyright issues. If I can get away with uploading every single episode of Nova, I will. Every single episode of One Step Beyond, In Search of, that's incredible, right? TV shows that mean something to my core, my person, right? These things helped make up who I am, right? And if I can keep those things and kind of lose everything else, you know, keep my educational films and the TV shows that meant something to me, so the things that raised me, right? And basically I was raised on television and the movies we saw in school. A few things from the theater, but most of what I saw that was in the theater I watched on TV because we didn't have the money to go to the theater, unless it was during those periods where the theater was our babysitter, right? And we'd just spend the day there. Get dropped off. Parents would go out doing their deals, and we'd be there watching, you know, 2 or 3 movies. Right? Right? But I don't want to blow the channel by keep trying to upload stuff that people are going to fuck with me about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? So, once again, organically, the channel will change to suit the requirements of the channel. You know, at its core, the channel's about me and things in my life, my log, my personal log here in the morning, and the things that made me who I am, right? All of these peripheral videos that are added to the channel just kind of help give you an idea of why. Why, oh why? So there you go. And there you go. So at some point we'll have enough of this
peripheral stuff loaded up alongside my live stuff and my other videos and my other created content, that it will create enough of a picture of who I am that I can just eventually worry about live stuff in my own videos again, right? But the programming that I'm doing now with the old-time radio shows, the TV, the documentaries, the old movies and the educational films and stuff, this is something that I've wanted to do and just didn't think that I would have the ability to do it copyright-wise. And now that I'm finding out that there's a lot of stuff that I can upload that's not going to get hassled copyright-wise, that I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then I'll weed out the stuff that may eventually get me in trouble, right? At some point. But then, see, the neat part is that while I gather all of these things and then turn them into manageable videos and files and stuff, now they're all getting not just uploaded, but they're getting saved here on my hard drives and stuff. So eventually I'll have a DVD catalog of all of the videos that I make, whether they be borrowed content or original. The only thing that I don't have control of right now is my live stuff. All of my live stuff goes up to YouTube, and then it's there. So now I have to join the YouTube studio thing, the Premiere YouTube thing, right? And then start downloading each individual episode from YouTube back to here so that I can burn it onto DVD, right? So I'll grab 3 or 4 episodes, put them in a file, put them over, record them onto a disc, and then drop those into another external hard drive for cataloging, curating, holding on to for whatever purposes may come later. I'm hoping that my daughter or someone in my family down the road after I'm gone will take these things and use them and you know, in some fashion bring me back to life and, you know, use these things to say, hey, this human was here, you know, this human existed. Look, we have proof. You know, here's him talking. Here's the experiences he had, the people he knew, the things that he did, you know. So I can't build a pyramid. I'm not going to get into the encyclopedias. I'm not going to make it into Guinness. I'm not a war hero. I didn't do it. There's a lot of things that I didn't do, but what I did do is I was here and I existed. And was I important? I don't know. That's for later historians to decide whether or not I meant anything in this grand scheme of things. You know, are they going to come along later and say, why didn't they listen to the guy? You know, are they going to take what I say and is what if a hard drive, an external hard drive, right, filled with every element from my show, 1,000 videos, you know, half of which or more are me just discussing my life, right? What if that hard drive filled with all of that media and entertainment and video log and all of this on YouTube, that hard drive was the only thing left of humanity, right? And it's dug up by alien historians 1,000 years from now, and that's what they have to base humanity on, right? Or maybe everything else is in books and encyclopedias, and I what's on this drive is the only video, the only visual, audio-visual link to our time, right? Me, right? Would that be weird? That would. They could see all of humanity in this library catalog of books and stuff, but there's no video or audio that survived, right? Like much of history, you know. There's a bunch of hieroglyphics, but we don't know what it sounded like. And then they dig up me. They dig up my channel on a hard drive. Everything, all of it, packed in there. Then what direction
would that take them? How would they then think of us? You know, why does everything in the books not really line up with what's going on here in this video? Why does he think differently than everyone else? Why, throughout history, have humans done all of this, yet this one person thinks this way? You know, why weren't they listening to this guy? He had, he was right. He said this was going to happen, and it happened. He said you could have figured it out by doing this, and they should have if they'd listened to this guy. But nobody, at this point, nobody cares. Nobody cares enough to ask me what I think about how to fix shit out there in the world. And I'm just a regular Joe, an average guy. Speaking of Joe, let me have some coffee. But why can't the average people who've had to go out there and work and use their hands and their heads, right? Why wouldn't we have the answer? It would seem only natural. Why would we leave it to those who live pampered lives, right, and make way more money than they deserve, right, in jobs that they do incompetently, right? Why would we allow them to do the thinking for us when they constantly prove themselves inept, right? And yet we keep pushing it on them, right? When it's the average person who has the solutions, right? It's just you and me, right? To hell with all of the politics and religion and economic bullshit and corporate crap. It's just you and me now. Let's figure this out, all right? So, I think that if it was just regular people coming up with the solutions and then dictating it to those in charge, right? No, you guys work for us. Look, this is what we want. We've decided this is going to happen. Make it happen, right? But instead, we allow them to decide what's going to happen. And they don't live our lives. They don't understand what they're doing to us when they do this for themselves or for that corporate government entity, right? They haven't got a fucking clue. If they had a fucking clue, if they had to pay for their own fucking shit, their gas, their food, their utilities, their vacations, right? If it had to come out of their fucking pockets and not ours, well, then there would be an issue. But it doesn't. They've got government gas cards and shit, so they don't have to pay for that. They've got government insurance and all this other bullshit. And they don't have to worry about how high the gas prices are, how much a loaf of fucking bread or a gallon of milk costs. They don't care. It don't matter to them, right? Just like their kids, fuck it. The maid's going to take care of them. The nanny, the au pair, is going to deal with raising my fucking kids. Get out of here. Go grab au pair on a screen and go put your sticky little fucking hands all over everything, Give me a fucking break. Give the world back to the regular people and we'll figure it out, because us regular people don't want to go to war. We don't want to fucking pay high prices. We don't want to fucking pay for insurance that don't get us fucking anything in the long run, right? We don't want to have cancer, but, of course, we ain't got no fucking choice because we ain't in charge. We give that over to somebody else. We allow them to wrap a fucking noose around our neck and call it a leash. Fucking idiots. We are the idiots because we allow it to fucking happen. We allow those idiots to fucking control us. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And I'm not saying it needs to be a violent thing to make it better. We've already seen what idiots can fucking do. Well, let's see what fucking, free thinkers can fucking do. Let's put some real people in charge. Instead of electing one of these dumb bastards who just are in it because their party's telling them to, or because they want to do for themselves and their family, right? No. We need to get somebody in there who's just a regular Joe, regular schmo, who's run a small company and he's done it really, really well, and he's taken care of his home and his business and his community, and he's well respected and he's clean and there's no bullshit, and let's get one of those people, instead of one of these dumb sons of bitches who just leads a pampered fucking life and is only doing this so they can continue to have their ass wiped, No. You know, if you guys can't fucking reach across party lines and across the aisle to get shit done, I ain't fucking voting for either one of you. You know? You put a gun to my head before I'll fucking pull that fucking bullshit. No, I'm gonna, you know, fucking write myself in, you know? Fuck that. You know, I'm so fucking sick of it. Just fucking sick of it. We have to make a decision. Asshole number one or asshole number two. Fuckhead and fuckhead. You know? Fucking Heckle and Jekyll. Ugh. It's once again, it's sad. It's a sad day in the world to know that, you know, this is what's going on. These are our options. Fucking sickens me. Fucking sickens me, yeah. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? Ain't much you can do. Grab a Popular Mechanics and build a cabinet. You know? And I'm sure in one of these Popular Mechanics from the 1950s or 60s, we'll be able to find an underground bomb shelter, bunker type thing, right? Because, you know, that is one of those important things from the past, is having options. Why people would go up into the mountains, way, way, way away from the cities and the army bases and stuff, and they would build a cabin by hand on a piece of property way out in the middle of nowhere that only they knew how to get to, right? And they would have it stocked, filled with everything, so that in emergency they could just leave the city in the station wagon, pack the family and the dog up, and go out, you know. Or why they would have a bunker under their house to survive whatever, you know. And nowadays you need a bunker and supplies just to survive the economic ups and downs in the country. It's like all of a sudden, you know, you need extra food. All of a sudden you need extra money, you need extra supplies, you need extra this and that. Or it's too expensive to live here anymore. We need to pick up and go to the cabin and live there for a year until things cool down, until some other asshole is reelected and then uses the economy to, you know, get us to vote a certain way. I'm over it, you know. I am so fucking over it. And people will say, well, move out of California. Fuck you. You know? No, I'm staying here until this fucking place changes. And besides that, what, are you going to run from your fucking problems? Fucking fix it. You know? If more people had stayed here in California and helped fix this fucking place, you know, we wouldn't have the shitty fucking state we're in. You know? And besides that, this is my fucking state. I was born here. I'm going to live here. I'm going to fucking die here. Why? I got no choice. This is what I get. This is what it is. You know, I got to pick up to go somewhere else and then beholden as a fucking slave to somebody until I get that fucking life taken care of and get that far ahead and get another 30 years fucking paid off somewhere else. Fuck. No. You know, pack it all up into a big fucking bus and hit the fucking road. You know what? Let's just cash it all in and go to Mexico. Fuck it. You know, land, family, freedom, adios. You know, this... Once the country becomes too unmanageable because of the bullshit state we're in, what's the point of staying in here at all, let alone California? I mean, you know, by then it'll be, you know, let's just fucking pick up and leave. Do I ever want that to happen? Fuck no. You know, once again, born here, raised here, gonna die here. You know, how dare you make it so difficult to live that my options are to be a slave or to be fucking homeless or to just run screaming and repatriate somewhere else. Right? How sad of a fucking country is that? Right? And I don't want you talking to me about your own fucking state. All right, well, my state's better than your state, because that's fucking the same old fucking tired bullshit that Grandpa's talking about. You know, my family's a Republican, well, my family's a Democrat. It's the same fucking tired bullshit, you know. my way is better than your. No, we need to make it so that everybody's way is fucking equal, and we're not beholden to one fucking asshole or another. We don't have to fucking, well, it's hard to survive this year because something's, fuck that. Because you look at it and it's all fucking political. Geopolitical bullshit, The raping of the world, selling it back to us at maximum fucking premiums, and then just so that we can take it and a year later throw it away, filling the landfills, You look at those countries where all of this garbage gets sent to, right? All of this electronic garbage, and you look, and there's these stacks of people, little kids, cutting out little tiny chips so they can melt out the little tiny itty bitty fucking piece of gold so they can buy a bag of rice to get through fucking, the next week. Stacks of useless fucking technology, useless products, useless plastic-based single-use garbage that doesn't go anywhere but into landfills, right? Well, we rehomed those computers to the inner city schools, and that's bullshit, because shit is so fucking obsolete so quick anymore that you can't take 2-year-old, 3-year-old computers and give them to the schools and then expect the schools to be able to use that fucking out-of-date garbage. 18 months, you got to get a new fucking phone, a new computer. Why? Because my phone's running slow. It's jam-packed full. Everything's updated, and I got no more memory to do it in. It's just like it's bogus. Can I reset or something? No, you're boned, because everything runs with more memory now. And then in 18 months, it'll run with more memory and more and more and more and more. So everything you get is obsolete. I love to use my flip phone from the early 2000s, right? But I can't, because the amount of memory that has in it isn't enough to use all of the fucking crap that it takes to power that fucking app-based bullshit. It's like I'm tired of app-based televisions. Give me a television with a fucking channel changer, with a real fucking remote that has numbers on it. I'm sick of the bullshit now. I'm sick of Roku. I'm sick of fucking, you're watching something and then the app fails and has to restart. I missed fucking a quarter of the goddamn game because of this stupid fucking app. Fuck you. And what do? We gobble the shit up. Why? We got no choice. We let it happen. We let the world go fucking digital. We didn't stand up and say, no, as consumers, we're allowed to stand up for ourselves and say, you know what? No, we don't want that shit. And you know how we do that? We don't buy it. We boycott shit. Do people boycott anymore? No, they don't boycott shit. Why? Because nobody can get on the same fucking page. Well, I love this stuff, and I love it because my friends tell me to love it, and this app over here on Facebook tells me to love it, so I must love it. And so I'm not going to say I hate it, even though it's a piece of shit, right? Oh. Making me fucking crazy. We're getting fucked. Big time. And we don't even give a shit. People don't want to fucking speak up. They don't want to step out of line, right? And if they do, it's usually because they're fucking Karens or assholes or jerks about it, and then nobody cares, right? We want the average person, the average good, casual fucking person to stand up and say, you know what? No, we can't do that anymore. What happened to all those consumer groups, that came about in the 80s, like David Horowitz and Fight Back, who would say, you know what, this product sucks, you need to fix it and change it and make it better. No, we need to have this, all right? You guys, we used it and it's a piece of garbage, right? Remember when they took David Horowitz and Fight Back, they took a pair of 501s and they hooked them up to a horse, to a team of horses, one on either side, and they put the bar between, and they pulled on the genes just like in the label, right, to see if that was actually true. And it was true that two horses couldn't pull the pants apart because the jeans are so strong, they're stitched and riveted with strong canvas that they're as strong as rope, right? So there you go. But we don't give a shit anymore. Not enough to stand up and say, you know what? I don't want to buy this, and nobody wants to buy this anymore. Fix it, make it better, or go away. Right? No, they think that they have control of us, and they do because we've allowed it. You know, take back the corporations, right? Even if they are private corporations, right? Privately owned, privately operated, let them know that we're sick of their bullshit and we don't want their garbage products anymore. Flat out. Pick up a fucking pen and write. Flood that fucking place with letters, actual letters, right? Use a stamp. You know, emails are one thing, but you know what? Click, click, click. They just fucking delete your ass. They open it up and go, oh, what an asshole. Click. Oh, what an asshole. Click. Oh, they're kissing our asses and blowing smoke up our ass. Yeah, we'll keep that one. You know? No, flood the fucking offices of these corporations with, you know, thousands and thousands of letters saying, hey, we're sick of your bullshit. Stop selling us bullshit. We're sick of having to replace your bullshit. It's the only bullshit out there, right? It's the only thing that we got. And you're going to keep throwing bullshit out of us, right? Why not give us televisions that work, right? Give us products that don't wind up in the landfill in a year, right? I mean, I wind up with a yard full of fucking televisions because the TVs just turn to shit, right? They have a little life built into them. It's like, okay, this is their life. That's it. 100,000 hours of time. That's it. Well, you leave your TV on all the time, and after a year, your TV's toast, right? Landfill, you know. You got to wait for electronics day at the landfill so you can turn it in for free. Otherwise, you got to bury it in the trash somewhere, and then it either gets pulled out or it winds up squashed into the land. You know, hideous, horrible reality. You know, old tube televisions. Man, I got old tube televisions from the 70s that still fucking work. And if they don't, what do I need? I need to find an old retro or an old vintage box of tubes and put the right tube in it, and it's got another fucking 15, 20 years of life. You can't do that with modern bullshit. Once that screen goes dark, it's done. Once it goes and it won't change anymore, the buttons won't, it's done. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. It's a piece of garbage. Now it's going to cost more to fix it than it's worth. You know, as soon as you bring it home, no matter what happens, it's worth crap. As soon as you bring it home, no matter how many hundreds and thousands of dollars you paid for it, whether it's a car or a TV or a fucking appliance, you know, once you get it home, it's garbage. It's yard sale or it's landfill, but it's garbage. You know, yeah, I paid $300 for it. How much you want? Give me $5. Pfft. Right? Because it's garbage, and it ain't worth anything but garbage, you know, as soon as you bring it home. That's sad. That's really sad. That don't get us nowhere in the long run, except for the Pixar movie WALL-E, right, where we have to leave the entire planet because we're just overrun with garbage. That's where we're headed. Go to the inner cities. Right, go to Pomona and Los Angeles and the surrounding. Go to anywhere in the United States in a city, right, and you see the garbage piling up. They cannot pull the garbage out of the cities fast enough. We create so much garbage. Well, we recycle. Yeah, but look at how much you recycle versus how much garbage you produce. You know, not just single-use plastic, but 1 year appliances, shit that is just garbage after a year. You got to replace it. You know, whether it goes to the landfill or to the yard sale, you're still going to have to buy more garbage. Therefore, they're going to keep making this garbage. But it's cool garbage. Yeah, but it's still garbage. You know, I mean, the tools and the appliances and stuff, stereos and things that we had back then were really, really cool. I mean, they weren't as bitchin' hip and trendy as the new modern stuff, but I got stereos behind me here that still work. 1980, 1970s shit, right? And it still works. As good as it did back then when it was new. Well, that ain't even as good as digital. Your ears don't fucking know the difference. Don't give me that shit. You ain't a dog. You know? Yeah, I'm telling you, digital sounds better. The old stuff sounds better. It's the fucking same, you know? What do you want? You want new shit that you're gonna have to keep replacing? Or do you want some old shit that I'm gonna hand down to my grandchildren? Right? Or sell for a good price because it still works. People don't get it. People just don't get it. You know, let's just fill the garbage trucks full of everything in our house, you know, every couple of years and get new stuff. Because that's what we do. We don't see it because it happens little bits at a time. Oh, this broke, replace it. Replace it with some more inferior garbage, you know. What are you going to do, eh? Get more coffee, that's what you're going to do. I'll be right back. You know what? Some of the worst things to happen in humanity are things like admin and politicians and religious figureheads who only distort reality in order to feed their own pockets and coffers, you know. And we get these people who just create this beautiful image of how we should live our lives and then sell it to us. Right? And they get us to buy this shit because they convince us that if you have this, it's going to fulfill all your hopes and desires, and that's just bullshit. And so we get all of these people who are so wrapped up in iPhones and the Gucci purses and the hippest nightclubs and the awesome hairdo, and so wrapped up in self-image, you know, because that's going to make them a better person, or that's going to make them happy, or you have to have these things, you have to surround yourself with these things and these kinds of people, just like on your favorite TV show, because if not, you won't be happy, right? There's no way to be happy otherwise, you know, if you don't follow along and be a Snooki or whatever it is this season, then, you know, then you're living a bogus life. You know, you have to follow suit in order to be happy, you know, and people convince themselves of this, and then they get out there and they keep going and trying to live this life that's not theirs, right? And it makes them so unhappy. They cannot find that special person because they're always looking for the wrong thing. They cannot find that perfect job because they're always looking for the wrong thing. You know, they can't get it done because they're not aiming at what is good for them. They're aiming at what is what they're told to aim at. That's it. You know, you're supposed to be this. Okay. And then they get out there and realize there's no way in hell they're ever going to be that. They don't have the ability. They don't have the charisma. They don't have this or that. For whatever reason, they're never going to be that. But they keep trying to go after that. You're never going to be a rock star. You're never going to be a hip-hop artist. You're never going to be an artist. You're never going to be a poet. You're never going to be this or that, you know. So quit trying to be what you think they want you to be and start just being you. What makes you feel good? You know, if that's what makes you feel good, well, then go after that and quit trying to live up to somebody else's image of what you should be, you know. And that starts by taking that label and wadding it up and throwing it away, you know, because the labels are what start it. We start putting labels on ourselves as little babies, you know, and it starts with labels like boys and girls, cute little boy, cute little girl, you know, and there's where it starts. You start wearing labels. What kind of little boy and girl are you? Are you a good boy or are you a bad boy? You know? And from then on, we start taking on these labels that we wear at school, we wear at work, we wear at home, and everywhere we go, we add these labels. Pretty soon, we look like a race car. We've got so many labels on us, right? All of the things that we are, right? And that makes us less human. It just steals our humanity away. You know, when the only thing we should worry about is being a good human or a bad human. Are we good or bad? You know, that's it. Ultimately, that's it. We're all human. We all share that. Decide if you're going to be a nice one or a bad one. That's it. Ultimately, if we just made that one decision, are we going to be an asshole or are we going to be cool, right? If that was the only decision we had to make, we would know right away what kind of people are, you know. Oh, he's one of those, right? And then we take it from there, you know. But as it is, people hide that one thing, you know. Are they good or are they bad? Are they an asshole or are they cool? You know, it's hidden away in all of the minutia bullshit that's thrust upon us by politicians, ad men, corporate entities, you know, religious figureheads who want us to do a certain thing, think a certain way, be a certain type of human to satisfy their own needs from us, right? We know what we need from them, or at least, you know, we think we do because that's what we're told we need from them. That's, you know, usually it's wrong. If they tell us what we need from them, then it's wrong. We need to tell them what we need from them. And we don't do that. Once again, we hump the bunk on that one. We're giving control over to those who haven't earned it. They haven't earned the right. Well, yeah, they've been in politics for years and they've done this and this and that. Yeah, but have they really earned it? You know, and what are they doing now? And you know, do they deserve that money that they're making? You know, are they good or are they bad? Ultimately, you know, that should be the final say on anything. Have they shown their life to be good or bad? You know, well, it's 50-50. Well, that's fine. Which way is it leaning? You know, and then how can we straighten it up so that we're all living in a more good direction for each other, not just for ourselves. I'm in it to win it for me. You know, greed. That's what they want. They want us divided and greedy and fighting at each other's throats to get that thing that's on sale. But there's only a few, you know, so, you know, I'm going to get there first. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, the land grab. Remember the land grab? Those old black and white movies with the wagons racing across the plains and horses and guys with flags and stakes, and they run out and they stake. This is my acres. I own this now. You know? And my goodness. You know? I mean, that says a lot. That right there says a lot about how this country was stolen and divided and raped, you know? Yeah, that's a good movie. There's a good Ron Howard movie, Far and Away. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman come from Ireland to America, and one of the
scenes as them taking part in that land grab. I'm still getting over my body wanting to be sick. We brought something home from Los Angeles last week when we went to that concert. At least the kids did, because they were in close proximity to a lot of people at the show. So of course they got sick. And par for the course, daughter starting fall classes in August, so hopefully she can get this out of her system before then. But she's got to go to orientation this week on Wednesday. But I've been really resting and, eating as well as I can, doing a lot of liquids, trying to take, vitamin C and echinacea with golden seal, and just try to take care of myself and not go out and do anything crazy. I got to go to work, got to go to the store and stuff, but I'm not going to go out and party. I'm not going to go out and do things as much as I want to. Aside from going out to LA a couple of times over the past month and a half or so, I really haven't had a chance to get out and do anything. And I miss going out and going to open mic and going to the different events and stuff around. I had planned to go to a few of these things, and I've just been, my time is not my own, and now my body's not my own. And I'm just trying to keep from giving into that sickness. I can still feel it in here, you can still hear it in my voice a little bit. And, like I've said, I can't afford, physically, I can't afford to get sick. It'd just take me. It would take, if I got too sick, it would just take me. So, I dare not get sick. Criminy, I'm in enough agony already. I've been working for weeks trying to get this air cooler up in this hole in the wall here. All I got to do is pull 2 boards out and stick the cooler in the wall, and then I can start venting the duct and stuff, right? And I can barely get out of this chair or out of bed most days. I really just need a better me. Basically. But I don't know, let's see what the missus is like this morning. I don't think we've got anything planned today. I think most of what's planned is my wife has some work with a friend tomorrow, and then my daughter goes to orientation on Wednesday. But I think her and her friend are going together because they're both going to the same campus. So it's possible today we can go out there, even though it's already 100 degrees outside. If we could go out there and do what we need to get this cooler installed, then bada bing, baby. We just need to do it. Do it. Get it in, get her done, and move on. Because I really need to get that. I need to get that cooler in so I can work the duct channel out, and I need to go from a 19 and a half square. It's got a round thing inside, but I figured out that if I take the switch out and remount the switch next to it, I can just enclose the square, which will be easier to take down to a rectangle at an angle, right, 45 degree, 90 degree turn to a rectangle, than it would be to go from the round into a smaller round at that angle. Oh, pardon me, because there isn't anything created already to make that. So I would have to make a round funnel and then put it into this, and there's not enough area to do all of that. But if I just go from a flat top and reduce it in width, right, up to
a rectangle, you know, go from 19 and a half to 10 inches here, right? And angle it upwards with just a sheet of metal, right? So that means just cutting a sheet of metal with a little funny little curve in it. And then a couple of inches down here that are straight so that I can attach it to the top of the, and then do that with the bottom and have the bottom come up at 19 and a half and reduce, as it's coming up at an angle, reduce to 10 inches, right? Same thing with the sides. Go from here, 19 and a half, and come upward to, you know, 4 inches. So if I create these panels all out of paper and then transfer that to metal and cut them out, fold and screw, tape, that's, to me, that's going to be easier to fit into that small gap that I have to channel that up. It's going to be way easier to do that. Go from a square to a small rectangle, large square to a small rectangle. Big circle to little circle in that, I don't have the, yeah, I don't think I have the space. I mean, I could probably sit and figure out how to create that, but it's such a small area to make that angle, to reduce that circle down and angle it up so that it can make another turn. I mean, it's got to come out and go up and then go make another, just going to make 2 turns, right? If one of the turns can be reducing it down from a square to a big square to a small rectangle, that, to me, that sounds logistically easier than trying to figure out all of the shit behind trying to reduce a funnel. Right? But I keep working all of this out in my head, you know, so that today, when I get that in there, I should know exactly where to go. I'm just going to take some of these big pieces of paper, put them in that area, and then just draw my angles on them from this square to that dimension, from this dimension to that dimension. You know, once I get that angle looking nice and smooth the way I want, I'll transfer that to metal and add what I need to fold around so I can put my screws in, right? So the top and the bottom, they'll just be the correct measurement. The sides will have extra material on them and little leaves so that I could fold them over and screw it together, and then just run tape over everything, blow a little insulation here and there to seal stuff up, whatever, caulk, you know, whatever I got to do to seal this stuff up. And then bada bing, bing bang, bing bang boom, boom bang bing. You know, I'm blowing cold air throughout the whole fucking house. So what is it? It's almost 7. So by 9, I should have gotten dressed and eaten and be outside getting that thing ready to install. Because while it is probably 100 degrees outside already, it's okay. You know, I don't mind so much. Well, it says it's 84, right? It's probably an excessive heat warning today, again. But by 9 or 10 o'clock, it should be pretty hot. Pretty hot. Of course, they'll lie and say that it's not as hot as it is. You notice that about Google, where if you have a real old school thermometer telling you what the temperature is, it's always, the real one is always much higher than anywhere on Google or on the weather channels or anything. It's usually not as crazy as it actually is, right? It was 121 degrees down there in the desert today. Yeah, well, actually it was more like 126 or 128, right? It was actually more. They're going by computer averages factored in with
this real temperature here and that real temperature there and this real temperature there, and they kind of average it out, so it's not so bad, right? Well, let's take the lowest average and go with that. Then we won't scare the people so much, right? I mean, how do we convince people that shit's really going on if nobody wants to seriously talk about it or show any real truth in the matter, you know? Don't tell them that, they'll freak out, you know? You watch American United States news, and it's for pampered little pussies who can't handle reality. You go and you watch other news from other countries, even Mexican news here in the United States. They don't cut to black. They don't blur shit out. They show you what's fucking going on. You know, if there's dead bodies there, they're going to show the fucking dead bodies. You know, why? Because it's fucking real. You know, and I don't want to see dead bodies, but, you know, I don't want people to just, you know, hold my hand and tell me it's okay, and we're not going to show you because it might hurt your feelings. Some audiences might not. Well, you're going to turn the fucking news off, but show me the real fucking news. You know, if people can't handle the news, let them turn it off. Don't, you know, censor the news because you're too afraid of hurting someone's feelings. You know, we might upset cancel culture, we might upset these people, and that group over there might get upset, so let's just not talk about, you know, let's just focus on the nice pretty fluff stuff, you know, or the stupid bullshit, you know, that they want us to have their opinion about, right? Tell me about it. Fucking tell me about it. 7 a.m. on the 8th of July, 2024. Episode 51 of Mornings. This has been quite the ride, this video log here. Started off as a folly, you know, and then just kind of evolved into a necessity. A real necessity in my life, having this daily opportunity to do this. I would expect that if I can't do this, if I wasn't able to do this here on YouTube, if I got booted off of YouTube for copyright shit or had to take a break, that I might try to continue it in some fashion so that when I come back to YouTube, I would still have everything. It's like, okay, I'm going to record an hour show every morning, and then when YouTube comes back, I'm going to upload all of these shows that I wasn't able to do because I was a bad boy and got set to the quiet room, right? Which that used to happen with Facebook. I would say an off-color comment about something, and the algorithm would latch onto it and say, ooh, bad boy, you can't say that about those people. You know, what? That, you know, that the Native Americans should have probably, you know, wiped out the whites as they got off the boat, right? And so that was an off-color comment that I had made on Facebook, which got me booted, right, for a week or something, you know. And I was just, you know, I was being honest, but I was, you know, I don't remember what I think it was one of those things where they show a bunch of Native Americans with guns, you know, and said this is the first form of homeland security, right? And so that was my comment to that. And it was true, it was honest, you know. And I wasn't doing it as hate speak against anyone. I was just saying it as, you know, what would have happened, you know, had this happened, what would this country be like, you know, if this country had stayed nomadic, right, and had moved with the seasons and the changes and the climate and stuff, and if the people who came here and settled had to settle under those terms. Look, you can't own property, man. You can follow the property as it takes care of you, but you can't own it. You can come back to it and claim it for a time that you're going, okay, this is where I'm going to live until it's time to pick up and go over there, you know. But I think it was settling in one spot here in this country that kind of hardened everyone to the idea of this is my property, get off or I'll shoot, right? And it just got worse and worse and worse. So now we have complete armed police agencies that are armed like soldiers, like armies with tanks and shit, right? And they're not there to protect us anymore. Their primary goal is to protect property, and the property of corporate entities who create these for-hire police stations, right? Everything just went wonky. Everything went backwards. Everything went crazy. And we let it happen because we gave ourselves over to these admin and these political dipshits and all of the other rigmarole. And we just let it. Because we figured that it's easier just to pass the buck to somebody else and let them make the decisions. Oh, we don't want to think about that. That's too hard to think about. Oh, it's ever since, that thing that happened, 23 years ago, everybody just, take care of me, And once again, we let it happen. We get scared and we let the idiots take over because we don't know what to do. We let them deal with it. And then they'll take care of us. No, they won't. They won't even take care of the people, their soldiers who take care of them, right? They don't even take care of those guys. Why would they take care of us? Once you reach that certain echelon in politics and corporate bullshit and religion, you become above everybody else. And you no longer have to think about everybody else the same way. You make a judgment, the judges, once they become a judge and they have the power of making judgments, everything they do is a judgment on us and the world, right? Whether they want to admit it or not, how many Karens out there turn out to be judges or politicians or spoiled fucking rotten fucking humans who think they can do it because don't you know who I am? Don't you know who my husband is? Don't you realize who you're talking to? Yeah, you're the lady that just ran 3 fucking stoplights because you were on your fucking phone. Get out. And then the guy loses his fucking job because bitch makes a phone call. Fucking Karen. Or you get those punks where they just totally disrespect everybody around them constantly. And then you try and say, hey man, what, motherfucker? What? Come on, motherfucker, what are you gonna do about it, huh? So what if I fucking walked up and bumped you, motherfucker? What are you gonna do? Well, obviously I'm not gonna get an apology out of you for you being an asshole. So, I guess, run you over with my car the next time I see you. I don't know. What options do you give me? What options are you giving me? I don't want to be an asshole, but you live your life as an asshole. So when you come in contact with other people, you turn them into assholes because they have no choice but to react in an asshole manner to your assholeness, right? Once again, sad. Oh, big face. I set her bed up in there, big dog bed, just filled with this giant old bedspread that's all folded and wrinkled and puffed up like a nest. And she has got to be the most comfortable dog in the world. It's piled up on something else, so it creates a pillow for her, and she's out. Yeah, my dogs are good buddies. I gotta have good animal buddies because there are so few good human buddies out there, And I try not to take advantage of the few human buddies I have by forcing myself on them a lot. I'm not easy to take. If I can make a friend, I try to keep a friend by not constantly calling that friend, texting that friend, saying, hi, what's going on? You know, hey, you want to do something? Hey, let's go. You know, it's like I'll do that once in a while, you know. And then I got to take a break to make sure that they're not getting burned out on me. You know, I'm sure morning people here who watch the show do the same thing. You know, I'm going to take a break from this guy. He's a little hard to take. So it's easy to do that with my family, because all I got to do is tell somebody in my family, hey, look, you know, try to treat me with a little respect and try to treat me as an actual person, you know, and not an image you have of me. You know, get to know me, you know. And of course I do this, and now I got no family. So that's kind of a bummer. But, you know, had I not done that, well, then that would be rolling around with me and constantly building and fuming like it has been festering for the last, you know, 50 fucking years, you know. So I don't have that rolling around in my head anymore, you know. Of course, you know, I in order to be able to say that, you know, the option for them was, hey, you know, either try to get to know me personally, or just forget about it, right? And so their choice was to just forget about it. Well, if that's the case, well, fuck that. I don't want to have to get to know you again. You know, I already think I know you. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I feel. Reality or not, that's the way I'm forced to feel over the whole situation. So I just roll with it, and I think, you know, all right, well, at least I got my dogs and my wife and my daughter and a few friends, you know, and a few acquaintances from the past, you know, and hopefully that's enough to create some kind of momentum, you know. I had to take this week off from doing anything so that I could keep from being sick, and then if I am sick, to keep from taking it and giving it to others, because I do want to go out to Elsinore and do some legwork, some planning, some photos and videos, and talk to a few people down there about the reunion 2025, which, you know, if I haven't, you know, blown it with everybody by being me, then it should still be on, you know. So I try not to post too much bizarre stuff on Facebook, and I try not to, you know, be too much of an asshole here on the channel. So I'm hoping I've still got a lot of people on board. I'm going to start taking head count this month and start getting people into taking on jobs, you know. And if we take on jobs a year ahead of time, those jobs are going to require so little of our time, you know. Of course, if I have to take on all the jobs, then it's going to be a bummer, right? I can take on a lot because, you know, like most of you know, I don't, semi-retired, partially disabled, and completely broken. So I really do have a lot of time to devote to this channel and to the reunion stuff, right? So hopefully I can get a few people on board who can get more people on board, because I'm not a financial wizard. I'm not a people person. I'm a planner and a doer, right? And I've been planning and scheming in my head for years about this, and I've got so much stuff worked out. I just need to put it all down and say, okay, look, here's what we have in mind. Who can help me swing this? Here's a list of things that need to happen, you know, and I'm going to be contacting people. I would rather try to appoint people rather than have people volunteer for things. I know a lot of people are going to be excited, enthused about doing stuff, but I'm going to have like a list of things that people can help with. Okay, look, here's what has to happen. Here's all the shit that has to go on. Who can help with what, where, at what time, and then we'll work it out, you know. Charts and graphs and lists and schedules and itineraries and agendas and all of this shit, you know. Budget. I want to keep this so fucking cheap, but at the same time keep it you know, really, really fun and clean and good and wholesome and not. But it's got to be, you know, it's got to be a group thing. If it was just me, I don't think anybody would come, right? It's got to be, you know, oh, who's involved? Who's doing what? Okay, I'm there. You know, it's just that guy. Who's going? Just a couple of people? Ah, fuck that. You know, how many people have pulled out because it's just that guy? So, yeah. Invitations are going to go out. I need to get someone in charge of invitations, right? Electronic invitations, whatever, however that works. You know, get somebody to collaborate on the event page on Facebook, and somebody who's savvy with some of the other places, and get them involved, you know, and then start sending out invitations to people, you know. Because other people are going to have access to way more people than I do. I have access to like a few dozen people, right? And everybody else knows all these people. So I need these few dozen people that I know to really spread the word, right? So that's going to be happening throughout this month, and especially in August, a year before the event, right? So the more people that get involved early enough are going to be able to get scheduled vacation-wise, right? So that's heavy. That's important, you know. Yeah. So first on, you know, my schedule will be reunion. That's it. It's you know, reunion stuff is like the most important thing going on right now, because it's 1 year away. People, places, and prices, right? The 3 P's. I need to get as many people involved early so that I can get other people involved. I need to figure out all the places that this is going to happen, and I need to get prices on everything and get the budget worked out, right? So that's key right there. So I need to do that this month, so that in August or earlier, we're looking at a video that can be shared everywhere that explains everything, right? And at this point, with as many videos as I have uploaded to YouTube, I half expect to all of a sudden get 3 strikes in a row and I'm out, and have to show up on Facebook doing a couple of videos here and there to catch up on things, right? So, you know, of course, if that's the case, that's what's going to happen. But I will be trying to, regardless of where the video comes from, I will be trying to bring you a video really soon about the event to come in 2025, in August, just over a year away. It's every time I think about it, I get really, really worked up. And I think that I'm feeling better than I felt last week. Last week I was really starting to feel it, and I just pushed it away and didn't get sick. I just got the tickle and this and that, a little sleepy, and so hopefully I'm beyond it. And I'm hoping that this Friday or this weekend I can get out to Elsinore and talk to whoever I can about this, talk to the people at the event where I want to have it held, and get that worked out, and get some kind of price set, get some kind of a head count
so that I can get, an idea of how many people we're going to want ticket-wise. I mean, the amount of people that come during the day versus the amount of people that stay at night is okay, but the price is going to have to remain similar, because day-use people just showing up for the event and who are not going to stay the night, they still have to pay because of parking and day camping prices, right? So there will be a ticket price regardless of whether you're staying and camping or not. So I would suggest camping, right? We're going to have the place set up, so there will be places to set up your tents, and if you want to camp at the RV sites, you can do that and park your motorhome out there. We'll hopefully have 1 or 2 vehicles out on site, but no vehicles are allowed, so it will be with special dispensation that we'll be able to do that and get away with it, mainly because we want to have one big vehicle, a motorhome or a trailer, for elderly and infirmed and very young people to go in and get out of the elements, right? And then, of course, we'll have a vehicle there with all of the equipment that I bring, probably a van and a trailer, bringing out a bunch of stuff. And then vehicles that come and go to drop off stuff for setup and tear down. And then throughout the weekend, people will be showing up as entertainment, and they'll show up with their vehicles to unload equipment and set up and then break it down and leave. So I'll get special dispensation for having at least 3 vehicles out there. Probably no more than 3 vehicles out there at a time. It's like, all right, you got to wait until this guy gets done, unloads, and then you can go out and you can do your stuff. And then that way we can have it okay for campers to bring their camp out rather than have to haul it out on foot. They can drive out, unload their vehicle, and then go park, right? And that will be cool. We'll have a checkpoint where people will have to show invitations and wristbands for drinking, smoking, and then badges for their different authorities or lanyards with cards on them. And it has to be done by the book so that we don't have to deal with stupid bullshit, right? Keep everything really low-key and safe. And then, everybody understands that by coming here, your insurance is responsible for you. You are responsible for you. Something happens, you can't blame it on somebody else. You can't sue somebody. You can't do this. It'll be in a contract. Look, if anything happens, you have to take responsibility. The others have to take responsibility for their actions. You're signing a contract in good faith that if you screw up, you're going to be responsible for it. If somebody screws up, you know that they're going to be responsible for it, right? So by accepting this invitation, taking this ticket, you therefore agree to yada yada blah blah blah. And I'll get somebody to make up some kind of boilerplate. That won't be too crazy. I don't want anything to scare anybody. Oh, well, I never thought about that. I ain't going. I just want people to come and have a good time and not have to worry about shit. And therefore I need to get people in charge of invitations who know how to deal with inviting the right people. I don't know anyone. I need someone out there who knows, oh, we can't invite those people because if we get them on the same place, they're going to kill each other. Okay, I didn't know that. Right? We need to have it worked out so that somebody's dealing with that end of it. A couple of people who know a lot of the people and who can decide this is the guest list, right? Anybody on my Facebook friends list who decides they want to come, I would want them vetted and then invited. What does he mean, vetted? You know what I mean. Checked out. Is this person going to show up and turn everyone else off because of their past?
regardless of what kind of person they are now. How's that going to work out? You know, I want to give everyone the opportunity to be there, and if they have changed, we'll definitely have the opportunity to show that they've changed and prove it. But at the same time, I don't want to piss a bunch of people off and turn a bunch of people away, you know. You know, look, this is the way it is. You can come, pardon me, you can come, but you can't drink, you know. You can't be over there doing dope, you know. You can't camp because you can't be responsible being around these people this, you know, after this amount of time, you know. People are only going to handle you for this. Sorry, that's just the way it is. You've already proven, you know, that you need to be given a chance, but this is the chance you're given, you know. If I'm proven unworthy, well, then I'll get a place to stay and I won't camp. You know, if that's everybody else's wish, well, I don't want him around. He's a weird guy, you know. Whatever, you know. I just don't want to. I don't want to turn anyone off, man. I don't want to turn anyone down, but I don't want to turn anyone off. I just want it to be fun, man. I want it to be a throwback. Way back. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm starting to get excited again. Starting to get excited again. Starting to get excited again. Which means I need to start a notebook of all of the details, all of the people who are involved and what their positions are, what their jobs are, the people who are just invited, people who we want to invite, people who are saying, yeah, I want to come. Everything, you know. Whoever they are, from wherever they are, whatever reason they want to come for, let's get them here. People are saying they need a ride. Well, it's a year away. If you can't figure out a ride in a year, right, then keep us up to date and we'll get you here, right? It's like, okay, part of the budget needs to be getting people here who we want here who just cannot afford to be here. Okay, how do we get him? Do we get this person here by picking them up along the way? Do we bus them here? Does somebody drive over and pick them up and bring them back? However that works. You know, I'm sure that's going to happen a lot along the way. Look, let's carpool. Let's have people pick up people. You fly to here, get a car, and you guys drive down together, right? Let's do something like that. Let's get everybody here. You know, I'm sure this thing is going to be a few core people, a couple of families, and a few other core people that are going to show up. And a few other people besides that, right? I don't expect this to be huge. I expect it to be 100 people or less, honestly. I don't expect it to be big. I want it to be hundreds of people. So many people that, you know, you have to sign on a waiting list to get camping. You know, all right, we're assigning camping now. Here's camping. You know, here's the people who were on the list first, and then have been approved to camping and have decided, yes, they indeed want to camp. And, you know, here's the waiting list. Here are the motels. Here are the Airbnbs nearby, whatever. That needs to happen soon. We need to get people booked on their vacations, booked on their flights, booked on their motels or whatever. Start sending me camping gear so that it can be taken there and set up. Okay, here's a duffel bag filled with, you know, person X's camping stuff. You know, it gets labeled and gets put in a pile for that day. You know, have stuff purchased online and shipped here a week before, 2 weeks before, and then it gets taken down. Have it shipped to a place that's really close so that it can just be brought over. You know, hell yeah, let's make this happen. I want as many people camping as possible because on the lake, camping is where the magic is going to happen. You know, that's where we're going to relive that past and have those new memories created. You know, nights on the water, chilling out, fires, barbecue food, you know, live music, fireworks, stars, whatever.
you know. Late nights drinking hot chocolate and playing cards, you know, early mornings, somebody out there playing guitar, making pancakes and sausage, whatever, you know. The works. Because the family reunions that I remember from the couple that I went to back in the day were nothing compared to what I imagine, right? I've only been invited to the ones that I've been taking to because I was a kid, right? I was invited, barely invited to the last family reunion that I went to, which was in 1998, right? And I don't remember who invited me, but I got out there and felt totally unwelcome, right? I felt like a black sheep. I felt like, what the hell? Who invited him? Right? Oh, hey, how's it going? Is what I got from everybody. Hi, how are you? Oh, that's good for a guy like you. I mean, I just got, you know, hey, who invited the tard? It was horrible. So that the next time a reunion came around, from wherever it was, I was surely not invited. I wasn't invited to the last 2 or 3 reunions, wherever they were held, probably up north somewhere. It's too far, don't invite me, ain't gonna come. Oh gosh, thanks for thinking about me though. So yeah, I mean, why bother, right? He's just that guy. He's not really part of the family, is he? No, not really. Well, don't worry about it then. He's not gonna mind. He don't like us anyway. He's, you know, he's not gonna care too much. We'll stay away from him because he probably wants us to. That's what he wants. Yeah, we'll do it for his sake. Gosh, thanks. Appreciate it, man. I totally appreciate it. You know, I didn't really need all of that family connection anyway, you know. I mean, my wife's got enough family on her side. I got family to spare. I got so many family, I don't even know them all. You know, I don't even know all their names. I got so many family members on my wife's side of the family. I'm half Mexican on my wife's side. So, I mean, it's good for my daughter. My daughter has family that she can rely on. Family that care enough to send a card or to talk to her or to come to her quinceañera or her birthday or, you know, remember when her birthday is or to care. You know, I mean, I don't give my family the same courtesy because no one's gone out of their way to do the same for me, right? So it's reciprocal. It goes back and forth. You know, well, he never did. You know, well, it's right, because I never felt like I could, like I had any reason to. I mean, you know, I've been shunned since the 80s. As soon as I grew up and started to become my own person, it's like, who the hell is that? I don't know him. He's not that little fucking crybaby turd that we used to fuck with. I don't want to get to know him. He's an actual person. I might have to go out of my way to do that. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I lived with my father for years after he and my mother separated, and he never wanted to take the time to get to know me, you know. Not really, you know. I mean, what did we have together? We sat and we watched TV shows together, you know, listened to some radio together. That was about it, you know, and he would tell me the same old stories over and over again, you know. Maybe there was morals in these stories that somehow eluded me. I don't know. But they never seemed to jibe up with reality, you know. That was the thing. Couldn't deal with preachers because preachers never practice what they preach, right? So I don't. Especially when it's a parental figure and they're saying, you know, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Well, why the fuck didn't you do that? And why are you telling me this when it's a fucking lie? Does anybody get any of this? Does anybody understand what I'm saying? You know? I don't know. All I want to do is make sure that I'm heard while I'm allowed to be heard during the time that I'm here, you know? And,
I want to put this fucking reunion together. You know, if there's one thing that I do before I go is to put this reunion together, whether I make it there or not, know that it's going to happen regardless, you know, and possibly continue after this one. That would be neat. That would be way neat. You know, if I could start something and then pass the helm off to somebody else, say, okay, you're responsible for making sure this happens, and finding a new responsible person after you're done with it, right? And do something like that. You know, whether it's kept in the family to control this happening, or passed around to different factions of the core old group from Elsinore, however it works, you know. But to know that all of these people are still getting together to share how their lives and how much they love each other, you know, that's important. That's that's more than me. And that's what I like about it, that I can create something that starts because I started it, but is gone beyond that and is more than just anything to do with me. You know, it's just a day once a year where people get together and remember those people. And if I'm one of them, so be it. You know, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be solely responsible for it either. I want to help create it and get others involved so that I know that it's going to continue to get there regardless, you know. Cold coffee again. And this season is just going to go at this point until it stops, and then I take a break and come back. Let me warm this coffee up. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little croissant sandwich this morning. Usually I can make one, but I can't eat one. I can eat a half, one of those big croissants, you know, with a nice thin sliced piece of ham cooked up with an egg and some cheese. If I've got to make it, I usually can't eat it, right? But if I make it, I can usually talk my wife into eating half, and I'll eat the other half. And eat half of that, a little orange juice with the coffee and the cereal bar. That's enough to hold me over until lunch, right? But I can't eat a whole lot of food in the morning. But we're at 51 episodes right now. 51 episodes. If we go to 68, that will be both seasons 1 and 2 combined, 32 and 36. So I'm shooting for 68 at least before I've got to go on hiatus, and no word from insurance yet as when this is going to happen. So I'm just kind of waiting. And then I'll just be off for a while, and hopefully I'll be able to create more content and ease back on all this borrowed content, this shared stuff. Because while it seemed fun at first, the idea of getting copyright strikes against me worries me. So I'm going to hold back on sharing anything that seems iffy, and just kind of continue with what I know works. You know, In Search Of, That's Incredible, One Step Beyond, Nova. Those shows I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue until they run their course, and then I may put some kind of radio or original content some kind of radio show or original content in their place. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I wish I had a workshop so I could grab my Popular Mechanics and open up and build a table or a cabinet or something. I got plenty of tools, just no workshop. I wish that I had the physicality to do the repairs to the house that need to be done, but I need to be better physically, or I need to be 2 or 3 of me, and I've only got myself. Pardon me. And right now it's hard enough just to do these things that I've set myself up to do during the week, and cleaning house on the weekend, and going out and being super dad and taking kids to concerts and stuff. So I'm pretty much wearing myself ragged as it is to try to add on the hat of handyman at home. It just seems like such a drag. I need a couple of volunteers to show up once a month for a day and just do a bunch of stuff, right? It's like, okay, here's what I got set up. Here's the stuff. Let's do it. Yay! And then feed them really, really good, and then give them a bunch of money that they don't want, right? Just volunteer work, but tip them really good, you know. I wish I could find that. And then I would set up things to do every month. Hey, if you want to come back and do the same thing next month, you know, let's give it a go. Let's take this weekend and go to town, or these days during the week, you know, and get shit done. And then we can barter and trade and, you know, whatever it takes. What I really need is to just win the lottery and move into a big warehouse, a big, giant, I don't know, 20,000 square foot warehouse, something with a skylighted ceiling and a dirt floor, and then move into that, and then create a dwelling within inside that, plant trees and gardens and build bungalows and, you know, outdoor kitchens and waterfalls and stuff, but build a world within inside a giant warehouse. That would be my ideal home, right? Because I couldn't live in a standard track home. I couldn't live in one of those mansions. I couldn't live in one of those, it's hard to live in a mobile home. If it weren't for family and stuff, I'd probably live in a van or a motorhome out somewhere where I could have a big piece of property and a couple of outbuildings, right? Or maybe just move around in a vehicle, right? But if I were to have to choose one place to live, it would be a big, giant, you know, 2 or 3 story warehouse with a giant skylit ceiling with big shields or curtains inside where I could you know, shade the place if I wanted to. Big blowers and coolers and stuff to keep the climate perfect, and then have it on a big piece of property in the middle of nowhere, and then live inside of that. You know, maybe have a double building, have a big giant building with a giant building within inside of that, and then within inside of that have a dirt floor skylight with all of this. So you've got these double walls going on to keep you from the outside world, right? A barrier. And then you've got enough land inside there, so it's like your own little biodome, right? Flat out biodome. Place where you could have gardens and grow fish and animals and stuff. And since you've got the double wall building thing going on, you can actually get them in and out without interfering with the interior climate, you know, and you can have animals that go out and spend their days out roaming around and then come back at night this way and come into their little areas. And you know, aviaries and lizards and snakes and fish and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. You know, that would be my ideal home. I would, you know, and bury me in that corner. You know, that would be it. That would be it for me. I would spend the rest of my life living in that one building and making that one building perfect so that who I leave that building to has got it licked for the rest of their life until it goes to the next generation. You know, if I were going to leave my daughter a family home, it would be something like that. Something with shields and barriers from the outside world, but still allowing that outside world to come through and liven up the interior world. Because it's going to come to that. You're going to need your own sanctuary in order to survive. You know, and we're not far from that. We're a stone's throw from the end of the world, and we got people sucking it up, doing duck faces and selfies, and living the glamorous life, and buying and selling our natural resources, and discarding them then into a landfill at such fast rates. And the climate is the planet, the people, the animals, everybody's taking the hit, and nobody gives a shit. It's like we're gonna party like it's 1999 again, you know, and fuck it all. And that's why you get those people who are out there just say, fuck you, you don't like it, fuck you, come on, bitch, you know. And that's their mentality, is that they just don't care anymore. They don't care about themselves, they don't care about the people around them, they don't care about the planet, the animals, you know. What are you gonna do? So you gotta have a sanctuary. You got doomsday preppers, right? Them zombie people? No, it's not quite that anymore. It's more like we're afraid of what's really on the horizon. You know, when food becomes so fucking scarce, right? As scarce as clean water is on the Navajo reservation, right? As soon as food becomes that scarce everywhere, we're screwed. And it's not far from that now. We have countries right now that are screwed and have been screwed for 50 years, and we keep sending them money, you know, for bags of rice. We should be sending them fucking condoms and getting them snipped, you know, as well as getting, you know, half this nation fucking castrated or tied. You know, we're producing way too many people for pointless reasons. You know, because the Bible tells you to go forth and reproduce, or because you want to have 21 and counting, or you just want to leave a lot of offspring. I love babies. I'm gonna have a lot of babies. Well, adopt some fucking babies then. There are a million babies out there that need families. Adopt one. You know, rather than have 5, 6 kids, have 2 kids and adopt 3. You know. Had I the means in my 30s when we first got married, we would have adopted as many kids as possible, and would continue adopting throughout the rest of our lives to take care of kids. Why? Because there's a lot of kids that need to be taken care of. You know, we've had the opportunity, the pleasure to take care of our own daughter. You know, we wanted 2. We tried for 2. You know, and when we realized that it was, you know, a life or death situation to try to go that route, we stopped. Had we the finances, we would have adopted. We'd be bringing home babies every couple of years, you know. Because looking at my daughter, I know that we would have been able to have a really good chance of turning out some more really good humans, right? And there's a lot of people from my past who will only see me as they saw me in or how they think that I was in my past, who would look at me now and think, oh my God, those poor girls. I've had people tell me that on Facebook. I feel sorry for your girls to have to suffer with you as a husband and father. And it's like, oh wow, are you so fucking out there, people, right? It's like, first of all, you got it way wrong. You know, talk to my wife and daughter. Talk to my daughter and see how she's turned out with me in her life. And second of all, fuck you. Who the hell are you to judge? Sit and judge me and my family and how I've done. You know, what the I can see what's going on in your life. Am I going to make judgments on you? No, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you've had shit going on to create that mess that you're living in. What are you going to fuck with me about? You know? What are you going to fuck with me about? You know, I got the most wonderful person in the world as a wife. Anybody would, you know, would be grateful to have my wife as their friend or have her in their life in some capacity, right? Same thing with my daughter. You know, two of the best people in the world that I've ever known. Why? Because I've known a lot of people, and which is why I stay away from people. And to know that these two people in my life are the best people out there, bar none. You know, I'm lucky and privileged. You know, oh, he's so blessed. I hate that. I hate it when people say that. You know, I hate it when people come along and say, bless you, when you sneeze. It's like, who the fuck are you? What are you, the Pope? You know, and who are you to come along and you know, praise God and praise Jesus at someone when you don't even know them well enough to know whether or not they've accepted Jesus into their heart, you know. And I'm not trying to be facetious or sarcastic, but come on, you know, you can't just assume, you know. I mean, that's rude to assume that your religion is thrust upon everybody else because that's the way that you see it. That's not the way, that's maybe the way that you see it, but you have to assume that everyone else has got a slightly different, if not completely different version of seeing things than you know. Yeah, I'm religious, I'm spiritual. Do I see things the way that everybody else does? No, not really. You know, do I bag down on people? Do I, you know, judge people for how they feel about religion and worship and spirituality? No, to each his own. Do whatever you're going to do. Just afford me the same fucking opportunity to have my own way of life by not saying these things, you know, I should not, regardless of how you feel, you should not be in a public position where you see people all day, every day and say, God bless you, okay? How many people a day are you going to upset because you're thrusting your version of religion upon them, right? Maybe they don't feel the same way you do. Maybe they practice a different religion. Maybe they don't believe in religion. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe the other, all right? You know, it's like me telling you to go out into public every day, and every time I come in contact with a person saying, all right, stay weird, man. Well, I'm assuming that they want to be weird, or that they're weird, or they care about my weirdness, right? It's the same fucking difference. No, it's not. It's religion, dude. It's God. It's, you know, whatever. It's your version of what you want or what the world wants your reality to be, right? Like I've said before, there's something going on religiously, spiritually. I'm not going to be inclined to say this is the way it is, because that would be arrogant and ignorant of me to assume that I've read this book and I know that that's the way it is. It's just flat out, that's the way it is. No. That is the way it could be. And you have to be open to the idea that there's something different. Otherwise, we have religious wars. My way is no my way, no my way. Boom, 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 boom. We pick up swords and jab at each other, you know. So I don't subscribe to, you know, being told to have a blessed day or God bless you. I appreciate the sentiment. Right? I appreciate where they're coming from, but don't throw that on me, man. Don't bring me into your world, real or fantasy. Don't bring me there, man. You know, have a nice day. What happened to have a nice day? That, to me, that says it all. Have a nice day. Have a great day. Have a groovy day. Have a sweet day. Choice, man. You know, let's be positive. Let's not, you know, let's not be one-dimensional. Really. That's all I'm saying. I can appreciate where you're coming from, but don't throw that on me, man. Don't make me have to make a choice on how I feel about living somebody else's fucking life every day, you know, because that's what it is. Now every time I go out and somebody says this, they're trying to program me, right, to think their way, because they've been programmed, or because I'm ministering, or because whatever reason they're in their lives, they're doing this and having to say this to somebody every day, every time, every second, you know. There's something going on, you know, that forces them to want that kind of control over somebody. You know, oh, what's he talking about? I don't get it. They're just trying to be nice. Yeah, well, in a propaganda kind of way, yeah, they're trying to get me to think along their lines, and I don't want that. I don't want to think like everyone else. I don't want to be programmed to be a good little boy, you know, and do what I'm told. That's what's gotten us into the way of the world now. You know, we either put our heads down and say yes sir and go about our business the way we're told to, or we stand up and scream and rebel and then are, you know, gaffled and cuffed and hauled off to jail. You know, because we haven't learned how to just go about it without going in one extreme or the other. Middle of the road, let's get it done. That's gone. We don't do that anymore. Yeah. The world of yesterday is gone. You know, you look at movies from the 70s and 80s, and that world is gone. All that goodness is gone. It's been raped and destroyed, withered, molested, accosted, assaulted. All the goodness has been just squeezed out of the world, you know, just so we can get the nickels and dimes that we're squeezing out. And it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth all of this shit we're surrounding ourselves with. It ain't worth it. In the end, it's not worth where it's taking us, you know. And right now, it's going to take me to have some breakfast and to put a swamp cooler in my house. So I am going to open up some end credits for you today, and we are going to close this show because I got to get out of here. I got to get stuff done. I need to get rocking and a rolling. So everybody, be sure to have a great day. Be kind, spread love and peace. Go out into the world and do something nice, you know. Befriend somebody. And try to do it and stay weird at the same time. All right? I love you, people. Take care. Adios. See you tonight. I guess I'm going to play this over again because I didn't switch the video. There we go. There we go. Let's see if I can get this right this time. Sheesh. All right, there we go. Okay, now, what did I say? Thank you for joining me. Be kind, spread peace and love. And most especially, stay weird. All right, people, take care. Bye now. See you tonight. Deja vu.